Says, wow, way out of here, over the flagpoles in right field. And even Twins fans have to stand and clap their hands on a monster home run by Jack Caglione. And now Rave hits it up the right field line, and that's off the wall. Played very well by Clemens. So well that he almost got an out at second base. Now the ball gets away, and scoring is Jensen on a heads-up read after the throw got away from Lewis at second base.
The 0-2 from Straub. Clemens in the air to right center field and deep. Back it goes. Deep it goes. And Cody Clemens wins it. And the Twins walk off the Royals once again at Target Field. Can you believe it? 4-3 the final. Down to their final strike. Twins win. Twins win. The Twins win it.
Friday edition of The Zone right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, Jack Johnson hanging out with us for the first hour. We'll hear from the Kansas City Chiefs today at some point. Last few days has been in the first hour, so we'll see when they get up to the podium. Scheduled to talk at 11 o'clock is Andy Reid, Xavier Worthy, Drew Tranquil, and Kader Kohu. So we'll hear from those four individuals today. Wrapping up, once practice is over today, the first 3 days of training camp. Videos out there from the last couple of days that people watching and breaking down and studying. And, guys, it's happening. Did you see the video from today at training camp? Did you see the pass and the catch?
Justin Ross.
Nope. Oh. Did you guys see it? Like, in all seriousness, have you seen it yet?
No.
Oh, 7-on-7. Bullet down the middle. Mahomes 2. One-handed catch, Cyrus Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Right behind the defender, reaches up in the air, and the ball just sticks to his hand, pulls it in, and keeps running. I mean, is it over, or is this guy the next Hall of Famer? I mean, do we even have to see anything else, or can we just, in all seriousness, it's now. We talked with Matt Lane yesterday, and he said, you take everything with a grain of salt in camp, right? He goes, but you want to watch, what he watches for is, do players stack good days on good days? If a player has a bad day, do they immediately respond? Like Jalen Royals had a rough Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then yesterday looked pretty good. So it was like, okay, he bounced back. It wasn't bad day after bad day. But are you stacking good days? This would be 3 consecutive good days for Cyrus Allen to start his first training camp, where the other thing that you take into account is the amount of times Mahomes is throwing to him.
Yeah, I am.
And he hasn't dropped one yet, even a one-handed catch.
I know we'll get more into it, but just real quick, I am enamored. I am thrilled. I am shocked because I think I was wrong of him already coming out. I thought he was a slot-only guy. I said, I don't know. I maybe take Kevin Coleman from Missouri because I think he's...
That's right. Yeah. We talked about that.
Hey, I'm honest. Yeah. I know he hasn't played a game yet, and so I'm not necessarily wrong yet, but what we have heard, what we have seen from Cyrus Allen is tantalizing, and he looks so far like a late-round flyer that looks better than almost any wide receiver the Chiefs have drafted in the past 8 years.
Like, Jack, you do post-game shows, and you're following and studying the Chiefs as much as anybody during the season. And then in training camp, I always find myself battling one way or another because we're starved for football, right? We get here, and anything we see, we want to then put pads on in an actual game, and this is what it will look like. So I find myself being pulled in different directions, but I can't help but sort of get excited of what could be. Not that this is who he is, but with a 5th-round pick in Cyrus Allen that everybody seems to be saying how good he is. We'll see when the pads come on and the games actually happen. But we've seen this before, one. We've also seen guys come in and struggle and they make excuses for him. No, he's young, he's kind of injured, he's doing this, he's doing that. It's from day one that he's had the positive thoughts from coaches and analysts coming out of practice. And look, it's just a couple of days, but I don't know how you could be anything but excited while also tempering that enthusiasm, knowing it's 3 practices in training camp and he's still a rookie.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very intriguing case because it's a Chiefs wide receiver room that doesn't have a lot of talent. It's guys coming back from last year that underachieved or were banged up. And Cyrus Allen, though he wasn't everybody's favorite pick in the draft, he's clearly showing early on that he can be a guy that Patrick Mahomes can really trust. And to me, that's what matters most here. More so than the one-handed catches, him dominating in these one-on-ones. It is that Patrick Mahomes has a connection with him. And that matters when you're having a guy coming back to camp. He's coming off of knee surgery. He's looking to get off on the right foot. And this is the guy that he's been targeting. Why he's been targeting him? He's been getting open. He's been catching the ball. And I don't know if it's as equal as Sky Moore's breakout in camp or Justin Ross's breakout in camp. I thought with Ross, a lot of it was with backup quarterbacks and some of these 7-on-7s, these fade routes of, well, yeah, these guys are in pads and shorts. They're not in full uniform all the time. But still, the connection part of it is what matters here. And I'll always say this. If you have people out there going, well, don't overreact to training camp stuff, for Cyrus Allen, this is all we have.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you have a guy coming back from last year, like if Worthy was out there torching everybody, which he's had some hit and miss moments in camp so far, but we have film on him in NFL games. So you could say, well, I need to see it in a game first. For Allen, it's college football and this. So if you want to be excited about it, be excited about it. I mean, it's the football we have in front of us right now.
I thought what was so cool about that particular play, Jason, is Cyrus Allen runs this almost in-breaker, kind of like I can't tell how deep it is, a deep post or more of a slant, but he beats the corner and...
It was Bassa.
It was so.
It was a CRW. I got to look again.
So in the slot.
Sorry.
In the slot, it looks like.
Yeah.
And
it was CRW, sorry.
There's a safety over the top, and what does Patrick still do?
Throws it to him.
Throws it to him. I mean,
gives him a chance to go up and make a play.
I don't think we see that last year from most wide receivers. I don't think Patrick trusted anyone. Now, again, this is practice, so what are you going to do? Or OTAs. What are you going to do? Training camp. Sorry, I'll get it right eventually.
It'll be there.
Well, spring
Just
training.
say camp.
Spring,
it's camp.
Spring training.
Spring ball.
You made a song about it. But
no, that was Mark Morrison. That was his
that wasn't
secondary
Sterling.
hit. That wasn't me.
Michael, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about there.
I heard Mark.
But I hope he continues to build this trust, and then in the regular season, he does throw the ball in these tighter windows to him.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's a good point about Justin Ross and backup quarterbacks as opposed to this is already running with the ones here with Cyrus Allen.
And Justin Ross did it not with route running, but with athleticism.
And just size, though. It's like, oh, he's so big.
Correct.
And also living a lot on the freshman year in college.
Yes.
That's what Justin Ross was about, is if he'd have come out after his freshman year, he would have been this and this and this. So it's always like he could be that. Ooh, there's a flash of that where all we've seen from this particular player is the different schools he's gone to, he's just gone and produced and put up numbers. And we'll see. Again, it's one video clip, but it's 3 days in a row where one of the takeaways has been Mahomes throwing to 13 and 13 being open and 13 catching it every time he throws to him.
Also, it's better than the alternative.
Exactly.
Like when we talk about spring training, well, you don't pay attention to numbers. Well, I'd rather the guy hit 400 than 180 and make excuses for why he's hitting 180.
Exactly. So we'll hear from the Kansas City Chiefs later on today. We'll hear from Matt Derrick. We'll hear from Mick Schaefer. And we'll get the cuts before the show is over as well. Also, because he's playing so well, I don't call him Cyrus Gray. You know, Cyrus Allen.
Oh,
Cyrus
yeah,
Allen. Haven't done that in a while. Yep, so that's what he does. He makes his own name. All right, so let's get into I want to talk about this because I think we'll have so much football today. Yesterday, the Royals lose on the walk-off grand slam, and there's a couple of ways of viewing this. I think we can clearly talk about the negative if we want to. We could talk about Q's decision, which I do think we can get into and what went into that decision. Not only pulling Noah Cameron, but who he went to. But what really mattered yesterday, Jack, to me was back-to-back games, Noah Cameron calling his own pitches. And when Noah Cameron has called his own pitches, he's gone 15 innings. He has given up 3 hits, 5 walks, and 15 strikeouts in those 15 innings. No runs that he's given up, and he took a no-hitter into the 7th inning yesterday against the Twins, and that's against the Tigers and Twins, 2 division foes. That, to me, is the most important thing. Jack crushing one, I think it was measured at 540 feet in my personal record book. He hit that one 540.
The Sterling cast, it was 600.
Right. If it didn't hit the flag, what an American, right? You know what I mean? If it didn't hit the flag, I think it lands probably Milwaukee, maybe?
I was going to say Wisconsin, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, I mean, Wisconsin's sort of short. I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, it's
you know
true.
What I mean? It's Twin Cities, right on the border. He's hitting it to Milwaukee. I do want to get into Q's decision and things like that because there's one particular move I may have made. But to me, this is back-to-back games. I thought it was really important for Noah Cameron to go out there and pitch well, calling his own game, because then you can go, well, was it calling his own game or was it the opener? Well, now the one variable that has happened twice is he's called his own game, and he's looked really, really good. He's getting swings and misses, and he's getting soft contact with these guys. Expected batting average back-to-back games of under 200 for Noah Cameron. What do you make of what we've seen, and is this maybe the difference with Noah Cameron calling his own game, or is it a difference of throwing more cutters and less fastballs? What do you make of these last two games for Noah Cameron, Jack Johnson?
Yeah, the cutter has been the best pitch for him, and I thought when he was struggling, that was just something he could locate as well. You can see against right-handed hitters where some lefties want to put that cutter on their fists, right? Mm-hmm. They want to try to saw him off a little bit. He almost has this backdoor cutter that's really played well for him because then it sets up his curveball, which also starts outside but darts toward the bottom. And the Twins just were not picking it up as well. And again, the first pitch strikes. When Noah Cameron is throwing well, that's what you have to look at, in my opinion. Now, you can say, well, for all pitchers, if you're getting ahead in the count, you're going to be pitching well. But for him
not
specifically,
for the ninth
inning. Yeah. But specifically with Noah Cameron, that's when he's at his best. He likes to work quickly. He wants to be efficient. He was at 72 pitches through 6 innings. That's because he was able to get those 0-1 outs. He was getting ahead 1-2, putting guys away. And when he would get to 3-2, and there were a couple of foul balls, he was able to go and challenge them because the Twins were not confident in what he was going to throw. The start against the Padres right out of the All-Star break, he might get to 3-2, but he was missing with his changeup. His cutter wasn't going where he wanted it to. If he did challenge, he was going to get crushed because they were starting to see him up pretty well. It's a great sign, and what was, in my opinion, one of the worst losses I've ever seen in my entire life. But you can't, when you're 18 games under 500, that can't just be swept away because you're so mad at Matt Quatraro, Lucas Erceg, Matt Strahm, because that was 8 shutout innings, 1 hit, and it was a blooper to the opposite field. That's as good as he's ever looked, and a big part of this second half. We talk about Caglione, we talk about Jensen, we talk about Steven Cruz, Beckway when he's healthy, guys that you know are going to be back next year. Noah Cameron is. The question for me is, do you need to upgrade from him in the rotation? Does he need to go to the bullpen, or do you stick with him? And this version of Noah Cameron, we can be realistic. He's not going to go 8 shutout innings all the time, but we've seen him last year have those stretches where it's 5-6 outings in a row where he's been really good. And to me, you're starting to see more of the swing and miss, which means that can be more translatable to next year, where if he was just getting by 6 innings, 12 hard-hit balls.
I was going to say, Dobnik the day before.
Yes.
A little smoke and mirrors with the expected batting average of like 400 for the Twins against Dobnik, but he still went out there and did that. I'd be a little more concerned, except for the last 2 outings for Noah Cameron. The numbers have matched up what the underlying numbers said should have happened.
His expected batting average in this game against was 134.
134, yeah.
I mean, that's just...
I think the last 2 games combined is under 200.
Yeah, it's just outstanding. So it's not smoke and mirrors. I know the Twins' offense isn't outstanding necessarily, but still, the point remains Noah Cameron is dealing right now. We've seen him go on a couple stretches of greatness and a couple stretches of horrendous this year. We need to see that even out a little more. Now, for your 5th starter, not the worst thing in the world to have a little bit of upside like we saw last night, but I do think he is on a...
Every start that he it's kind of like Cyrus Allen in practices. You're stacking.
Yes.
Every start from here on out when he's calling his own game means more and more if he's pitching like this, because Seth Lugo, the oddity of the before and after signing the contract,
correct,
and somehow just completely different pitcher for the most part, this would have a clear difference of before and after of he's now in charge of what he feels in certain spots that he's got the feel for, and not just this is what the guy wants me to throw. I'm not really feeling good about this one, but this is what I'm going to throw here because I'm trusting the catcher. This would be a clear difference for him.
Yeah, and for me, I don't see him as a good bullpen guy necessarily. I don't think he has the stuff, and maybe, Jack, you differ here. I don't see him being like Daniel Lynch when he went to the bullpen, his stuff played up a lot because he's a fastball slider guy. He can throw, 96, 97-ish. I don't think Noah Cameron's hitting that. He might hit 94, maybe. That's just not, and his four-seam fastball is not his pitch. It's the cutter. To me, Noah Cameron's value is as a starter, and you now have maybe 8 starts left of him to try and see, is he the guy to be your third, fourth, or fifth starter going into next year? Because I know this is big for the Royals. For JJ, if you're keeping Waka and Lugo, you still got to figure out 3, 4, 5. Because if Reagan's injured, if Bubic is gone, if Kolek is Kolek or Burkett coming back from injury, you need Noah Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
We don't trust Avila right now. I don't think we all expect Avila to be. He's a 6, 7, 8 guy.
And the thing that about Noah Cameron has been since he came up, and he came up for the doubleheader, right? And then he got sent back down because he had to. Because I know there was a first start, then there was a stretch between.
It was the Tampa Bay game.
Yeah,
he took the no hitter into.
That's right. But then he had to be sent back down, right?
6th or 7th inning, wasn't
something
it?
about
he
that?
He was the
20,
taxi guy.
Yeah, that's right. The
like
27th man or something like that. But since he's been called up and asked to pitch in the rotation, he's missed 1 start, and that was just skipping a start, right? So he
had
missed
a back tightness miss.
That's right. That's what this year.
That
was I was going to say, what was the 1 start? It wasn't a hey, let's limit innings. It was the back tightness. They missed the start. Kolek there. That's the only out of 5 days when it's his turn in the rotation, the only one he's missed. There's something to be said for that too. That a bigger dude doesn't throw 99, 100 where you're just waiting for the arm to fall apart. That he's a field pitcher and is getting swing and miss stuff. And is a work ahead in the count, soft contact, be efficient, and every 5 days he's been taking the mound for this team since he's been called back up, except for 1 particular start. I think there's something important with that too, as a 26-year-old, that you've got team control for a while.
I am, last night specific though, beyond irritated that they did not let him go out for the 9th inning.
Let's talk about that on the other side of the break. I think there were multiple decisions that could have been made, and most of them I disagreed with. We'll get into that, what it meant. Look, Matt Strahm was due. But
to get an out.
But the oddity of the specific him being due is freaking hilarious. And it's not the he was due what you would think of if you say, he's due. We'll talk about what that means on the other side of the break. More Zone next. All right, man, if you're out there and you're suffering from... All right, so let's talk about what took place in the ninth inning yesterday for the Kansas City Royals, and that is the decision. Noah Cameron came out, Urseg goes in, Matt Strom comes in for Urseg with 2 outs, bases loaded. 0-2 pitches. Urseg had an 0-2 count before walking, and then Matt Strom had an 0-2 count to Clemens before hanging what was going to be a sweeper in the zone, and Clemens hates the Royals. Something about him that he just does not like the Royals. I don't know if Roger had an issue with the Royals and that passed down in the DNA. I'm not sure, but he hates the Royals. He and
Victor Caratini.
Victor Caratini, and there have been
France.
Yeah, there it is.
France.
Ty France, yes. Maglio Ordonez, although he hated everybody. I mean, he crushed everybody, but really the Royals. So anyway, I'll go through the hierarchy of issues here. First of all, it's on the players. If the manager calls on you, come through. Do your job. You know, Urseg, do your job. Matt Strom, do your job. Don't hang a sweeper on 0-2. Second, let's talk about the decisions there from Q. I would have liked to see Noah Cameron come out and see if he can finish it. Then a guy gets on. Okay, now you're going through the 4th time through the order. You want him to have some to feel good about back-to-back starts. I understand it would be as far as he has ever gone, not pitching into the 9th, facing people for the 4th time, and just simply getting him out and saying, back-to-back starts, now your next start, you're ending with that feeling of how you pitched, as opposed to going in there, putting a couple of men on, then they score, and now you've given up 3 runs, and you lose the game, and you went out there in the 9th, and you really wanted to. He lobbied for it, but whether a pitcher lobbies for it or not, it's up to the manager to decide what's best for the team, what's best for that particular player.
He clearly doesn't know what's best for the team. Q.
Well,
Clearly.
and here's the issue.
The bullpen sucks overall.
Well, yeah, because there's also the JJ part of it.
Correct.
But Lynch and Cruz, back-to-back games, and when the season is going like it is, I'm not going to say, you know what? Let's throw in Steven Cruz for the first time ever pitching 3 days in a row when it's been hot.
Those 6 pitches must have
I don't
killed
care,
him.
but it's about the back-to-back days. I know it's only 6 pitches, but I think it's the 3 days in a row of pitching. And so in a season that is lost, I'm not trying to lose somebody that there's some positivity to it. And Daniel Lynch, too. I certainly don't want to throw Daniel Lynch out there.
Lynch was a no-go. I agree.
Right before he might get traded.
I agree.
Urseg coming in the game.
Nate Pearson was the call.
Well, that's what
if you're going to go to a guy.
That's what I want to get into is, but the part about being due, I think this is phenomenal, by the way. It's so perfect. So Matt Strom gives up 3 home runs per 9. 3 home runs per 9 innings. Okay? That's his stat this year.
That's hilarious.
So every 3 innings, he gives up a home run. When I say he's due, this is freaking amazing. Since the last home run he gave up, he has recorded 9 outs. If you take 9 outs, how many innings is that?
That sure is 3.
It's literally 3, and the first batter he faced was a home run. It's as due gets. Like, every 3 innings he gives up a home run. Since his last home run, he's recorded 9 outs, and he gets in there and gives up a home run. It's unbelievable, like, on cue. And Lesky was on with Soren yesterday, and it's one of the things that I was, thinking and annoyed with is you get beat by a grand slam, and he's a guy that gives up the most home runs per 9 innings than any relief pitcher in baseball. Anybody that's thrown at least 30 pitches or 30 innings this year, there's 194 relievers that have thrown at least 30 innings. He ranks 194th. There are 379 pitchers overall, starters or relievers, that have thrown at least 30 innings. He ranks 377th out of 379 in home runs per 9. The only 2 that are worse, Dean Kremer, he's been battling a quad injury all year, in and out, and Jamison Taillon, who was just DFA'd. So of the players who have been healthy and currently on a team, he's dead last of home runs per 9, and you put him in that situation. And the Pearson thing I think is interesting because, okay, you acquired him.
Correct.
So you traded something. You traded a 10th round pick last year for him. All right, 2025, 10th round pick. A guy who, by the way, he's 22 years old in high A, and he was pitching really well and dominating, which you should as a 22-year-old, but he was also doing that. So it's not like, well, he was a 22-year-old. He wasn't 25 in high A and stuck. He started with your team last year. He pitched in A-ball. He got moved up to high A. He's pitching well. You moved him for Pearson, who you've got team control through next year. So at what point you got to figure out what you have, and especially this year when he's got reverse splits. Last year he got shelled by lefties.
Sure.
So I can understand if you bring him in, you got lefties, he got shelled by him. This year lefties are OPSing less than 500, so he has a reverse split this year. And sometimes when you're saying, okay, Lynch and Cruz and these guys the rest of the way, you also need to see what you have in Drew Pearson. You acquired him for a reason, and maybe go to that. Like, I agree with when Seren always says, if not him, then who?
Yeah.
Because I think
we have a who.
Right, but you can't just simply complain, right? The point is, that guy sucks, whatever. This was the first time when they brought him in, and I said to myself, literally anybody. Like, it's if not him, then who? Anybody else in the bullpen I would have gone to except for Matt Strahm in that situation because of what we've seen him do.
Honestly, even Ersig to an extent, too. I would have
Stay with Ersig.
I would have said Nate Pearson or stick with Ersig. I would not have.
Yeah, one of the two.
But the frustration still.
Yeah, go ahead, Strahm.
Just real quick.
I gave my thoughts on
I'm just
Strahm, the oddity of him being literally due after 9 outs recorded, and you acquired Drew Pearson for
Nate Pearson.
You acquired Nate Pearson, also Drew Pearson. You acquired every Pearson. J.C. Pearson, also a part of the Royals now. Right. But you gave up a guy who you drafted in the 10th round last year who's pitching well, and you moved him for this guy who's got team control next year. So you have him, and you're trying to figure out your bullpen for next year. Let's see if you have it. So go ahead, sir.
I am beyond irked. I am livid. I am flabbergasted. The fact remains, I hate that he pulled Noah Cameron. And I despise people that say, well, he's never done it before. Well, no bleep, because he always pulls them. How's he ever going to do it if you don't let him?
We can't hire you because you need experience. But I can't get experience without being hired.
It's the dumbest argument. It's... I want to scream and cuss. So many words that I want to say that I can't because we're on radio and we need Darcy to be by the dump button. What are we doing? Well, he's never done it before because Q always pulls him. Let him do it. The season's over. He's thrown 97 pitches. What, the extra 13 he's going to throw is going to make his arm fall off?
What if it did, though? That would suck.
I mean, seriously, what are we doing? Where are we at as a society where seriously, as a baseball society, to where we go, he's pitched 8 innings, he's pitched good, well, we don't want him to blow it. So let's go to the guys that always blow it. So that way he feels like bleep about it, going, well, no, next time out, I have to have lower pitch count so I can go for the 9th inning. You know what you just did? That's a mental mind bleep for Noah Cameron going, well, next time I can't have 97 pitches going into the 9th inning. I have to have 87.
If it happens the next time it happens in that situation, I would be curious to see what Q does. If you've got a game, I mean, a lot of variables would have to match this, but if you've got that situation, what Q does, what did you make of the decision, Jack? Ersig, well, pulling Noah, 97 pitches, Ersig, and then bases loaded.
One hit, 2 walks. What are we doing?
Yeah, I would say that, I mean, we have the knowledge of what happened, so it's easier to we wouldn't even be talking about it today if Lucas Ersig gets one more out. Right,
it would be all about Noah Cameron,
and I'm sure Lucas Ersig
call it up and say he should have pitched.
He seemed dejected, of course, but he has to feel pretty good that of all the blame being passed around, he's like number 3 or 4 on that list. What I think
he's like I said. First
he
of all,
needs to be number
the players,
the
players
or
are to blame.
2.
The players are to blame. But anyway, go ahead.
Look, Noah Cameron was really, really good. 97 pitches. He could have gone back out there. If I was in Matt Quattro's spot, I would have sent him out there, and I would have had someone warming, whether that's Lucas Ersig, whether that's Steven Cruz, Daniel Lynch, because in the same way we talk about, well, we want Cruz in the second half. We don't want 3 straight days. No, Noah Cameron going out there, let's say he gives up the leadoff double, right? We're speaking in hypotheticals here because it didn't happen. And he's at, he'll say he's battling a little bit. He's like 112 pitches. Well, Noah Cameron also this year has not been phenomenal, right? He was good against Detroit. Prior to that, he's been pretty rough for 75, 80% of the season. So they, going inside their mind, their thought was, that's back-to-back excellent starts. We're going to pull him at 97 pitches. We don't want him throwing 115 or something to get this complete game because we want him in September. They had to skip him for a couple of starts in September last year because he was out of gas. Would he be out of gas this year? We don't know. And clearly, that is their focus of, yes, these games, they're not as important as if you were a game out of a wild card. But I think it's more so about making sure this continues and not putting, and I don't think he would have been hurt if he would have gone out there and thrown 110, 115 pitches. Would it have showed up at his next start? We'll never know because he was pulled at 97. As crazy as this sounds, I understand why they went to Ursig in the ninth in a 3-run lead.
Yeah, I do too.
Lucas Ursig provides no value to this team as a low-leverage reliever. Zero. If he's only pitching in 7-1 games, and he doesn't need to be on the roster anymore. That makes zero sense to me. So he was warming up the night before when Dobnak was dealing, and it was if they got a couple more runs, he was going to go in. So probably not getting him hot back-to-back days and not throwing him. That's another factor here. But that was ideally a great spot for him. It's a save situation. You need to have your confidence back up. Alex Lang blowing the save on Tuesday made everybody go, well, they might as well throw Lucas Ursig back out there because at least he's been a closer before. He can probably recapture that form. Let's use him in this spot. Like, if there was one guy to go to, I could live with Lucas Ursig there. I didn't want them to go Steven Cruz because even though Cruz threw 6 pitches the night before, he threw, 15 to 20 the game before that? And you want to keep Steven Cruz fresh, ready to go. And I can say that the off day on Monday, maybe you could have used him because he does have a little bit more rest. You've got the off day this coming Monday. I get that part of it. My gripe was really about the Strom situation because as Ursig loaded the bases, and by the way, big league pitchers, if you're going to unravel after hitting one guy in a 3-run game, then yeah, he's got minor league options. Clearly something is mentally off with Ursig because it's not physical. He's throwing 98. He's throwing harder than he was last year. It's mental. It's a confidence issue.
He's also not getting any chase.
No. He threw a slider that needed to be further out of the zone to Royce Lewis. Good swing on it. Josh Bell, that at bat infuriated me.
Yeah.
You're up 0-2, and you just were non-competitive with every single pitch.
Right. It's one thing like, well, Josh Bell wasn't chasing, but you also weren't putting him in a position to
pitches.
chase.
No. The changeup was not good. The slider was not good.
Yeah.
And then when you load the bases, Matt Strom going in there, we all felt like I didn't expect a grand slam. I didn't think he was going to. I thought it was going to be a gapper or something, and now you're really stuck because you can't pull him after one batter. This goes against my argument, but I thought it in the moment. You don't want to use Daniel Lynch 3 straight days. But at that point, when you're crumbling, and you know how important it is to grab this series win, to keep the momentum going, playing good baseball, play spoiler, I actually would have been okay going to Daniel Lynch in that spot and saying he's either going to win us the game or he's going to blow this game in 10 pitches or less. He's not going to throw 25 or he's going to throw 10 pitches or less. Lynch did throw a decent amount the night before, but the day before that it was 13 or 14 pitches. You say he's unavailable tonight, maybe he's unavailable on Saturday. Okay, you're still 16 games under 500. But that to me was you can't go. Strom, for whatever reason, has had such a spiraling of his career. I don't think anybody in baseball could have envisioned that. Last year was a fine reliever for Philadelphia, throwing 94 to 95.
Got put into closer role a couple times.
To sit 89 to 90 with no injury that we know of, it's baffling to me. But I would have had Noah Cameron go out there, someone warm like Lucas Ursig. One guy gets on, I don't care if it's 2 outs, he's pulled. We don't want him to throw 115, 120 pitches, keep him fresh for the next outing. When Ursig was unraveling, I'm probably saying it's Clemens versus Lynch. Clemens has been really good against left-handers. Let's play for this at bat. If he gets on, all right, well, we don't want him to throw 20 pitches, but it's likely that if Clemens gets on, the Twins are either walking it off or you're going to get the next guy out.
Was the move to Strom, and part of this is also like, okay, are you just simply going by, well, this is their role, so this is what I do, as opposed to what's going on in the game? Because it's like, well, lefty, that's what we have Strom for. We bring him in here, as opposed to, well, you know what, he's not getting the job done, so we don't go to this guy right now. And I wonder also, was it Strom where, was on Q's mind at all, or JJ in a conversation with Q and Sweeney and saying, hey, in a situation we need to get Strom out there to showcase because we're trying to trade him and we need to show that he can come in and get some outs like that. So if it's the next situation like that, put him out there because if he's not going to come through, nobody's going to trade for him anyway. And if we don't put him in that situation, nobody's going to trade for him. But if we put him in that situation a couple times before Sunday or Monday, maybe somebody throws us a warm body, in low A, and we can move him and get something for him. And he goes out there and does that. Like, I don't know if that was even on their mind whatsoever. If some of that was also a showcase of Strom comes in, boom, 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 gets out of it. Okay, there you go. The guy's pitched 3 straight years in the postseason. He's got the experience there. The velocity and stuff isn't there, but he'll find a way to have the moxie to work through it. I don't know. There's a part of me that almost wishes that was the case of saying, yeah, this season is lost. It's nice to have momentum. We can talk to Noah Cameron about the decision, sit him down and go, this is why we did this. You're here every 5 days. We're not trying to lose you for 2027. We want to compete next year, and every 5 days we want you in the rotation for us. So keep doing what you're doing, and you keep stacking those starts. That's awesome. And then also the conversation amongst the coaches of, well, we put him in the situation, he didn't come through again. So, we don't need to put him in that situation because August 4th, he's probably not going to be on the team anyway.
He's got a 7.27 ERA. Nobody's trading for him.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
The fact that he's not been DFA'd,
that's why I say August 4th or August 5th.
Somebody might just say, well, we feel like we could give him a shot. Like
they should. He's throwing 89.
Sure, but
I mean, he does the Royals nothing. I'm shocked that I get your point. I would DFA him after
Monday. That's
today.
I think
I do it today.
See if somebody's wild enough to want him back.
Yeah, honestly, on Tuesday, I'd probably DFA him. If you don't get anything for him, then you move on and you DFA him. But if somebody, like you said, Jack, is wild enough to go, again, 3 straight years he's pitched in the postseason.
We think we can fix something in him. We see it all the time. There's guys that are acquired. It was Lance McCullers, the former Astro. The Brewers acquired him and then DFA'd him after 1 outing. It was like, well, he's actually not very good. Yeah. And he was bad before they acquired him.
Yeah.
I also don't understand the Ursig point here. I get your point of if he's not a high leverage guy, he doesn't really have any value on this team. I do agree with that. I think for me, this year's just such a loss. If you're saying, well, that's the time. I think his confidence is so shot right now. He does not look like a guy who, when he goes out, is I'm going to shut this team down and we're getting out of here.
I'm the guy on the field that has the advantage here.
The crazy thing
he looks terrified.
He looks like the guy on the mound that says this guy's got the advantage over me.
Yes. So put him in the 9th.
2 years ago, you put him in any situation, he walked to the mound, and it was like, I've got the advantage. To me, I'm the best player here.
His confidence is so shot. You can't. I guess you can say it keeps getting lower and lower and lower. So you put him out for this. We all knew it was going to happen. I tried going to FanDuel so I could bet and throw it on the Twins. I'm not kidding. I couldn't get it up quick enough. I was.
Mark that. Jack?
Well, I was.
Dang it. I was trying to have a serious conversation.
Well, that's your fault.
What's crazy about what got lost in this is, and it doesn't matter because it's all hypotheticals, and this didn't end up happening, but he opens up the frame striking out.
Yeah.
First hitter he faces, he's throwing 98. It's got movement. He gets the line out to Tolbert, to his position well. So that is something that I've always kind of contemplated when it comes to decisions being made. So I have to wonder, too, if they pulled Noah Cameron because every starter has been hurt this year. So in any moment of, do we want to overdo it for this win, putting him out there? Like, what if Cameron goes out there the next start, he's in the 3rd inning, he's going, I'm feeling a little bit of a dead arm here. I'm kind of tired. And you go, well, damn, now there's another guy we can't have for an extended period. Is it a bad move? And a lot of people, I think, would say yes, because he did not get out of the inning. But if Lucas Ursig would have gone out there, walk, double, 2nd and 3rd, walk, he doesn't have anybody out, you go, that is clearly the wrong guy to go to in that spot. That was a boneheaded decision. Lucas Ursig got the first 2 outs on 9 pitches, I think it was. And then it was seriously hitting Jeffers on the elbow, which it wasn't like he drilled him in the ribs. And it was like, it was a bad pitch that missed, but it clipped him right on the elbow. I mean, he was trying to go up and in. He missed. That completely unraveled him. He melted down after that. And that's where you go, we tried it. He gave him another batter. He got ahead of Royce Lewis, got some ugly swings on the slider, and then he goes out and gets it. Royce Lewis had a very similar swing the night before where he just went out and got the slider. Maybe you throw a different pitch in that scenario. Brian Sweeney comes out. You know Josh Bell has power. He's got incredible numbers with runners in scoring position. They're probably talking about, Don't leave one up. Don't leave one up. And he got ahead 0-2. And whereas last year, as you guys talk about, it's the Lucas Ursig of, you're not getting ahead.
Yeah.
There's no chance. If you get the bat to ball, it's going to be rolled over to second base. And he walked him because the confidence is not there. But they're trying to get the confidence back there. Because for a guy who was closing out games in the postseason, his confidence ain't going up when he goes 1-2-3 in a 10-1 game. His confidence is not going up when he's in AAA dominating 4A guys. But unfortunately, in this case right now, who's in the circle of trust? It's Lynch, it's Cruz, and Cruz is recent.
Yeah.
It's not like
Yeah.
Steven Cruz has been in it for months. He's been good for 2 months, I would say, but the entire season, only guy that's done that is Daniel Lynch. This was an attempt to say, Noah, great job. We're good with what you did. Lucas, you do this. You probably can take over Alex Lang's role for the time being, or at least until Monday when someone else joins the
My biggest beef of the whole thing was going to Strom. Like I can make a case
Sure.
for staying with Noah Cameron. I'll make a case for pulling him.
I will not make a case for pulling him.
I will, just what we're talking about. I mean, if JJ's saying next year somebody's got to pitch, well, the rest of the season somebody's got to pitch. And so he did his job in that game. Other people have to go out there and do their job.
Everyone could do it for
but
hundreds of years. They could do it, and all of a sudden now they no longer
My point
can.
is, I would have stayed with them, but I can make a case as to understand why they did that if you're looking at the bigger picture as opposed to this one particular game. The Strom makes no sense to me, even if you're saying, well, let's try to get a showcase and put him out there, and if he comes through, then maybe somebody will give up a brand new bucket of baseballs.
I will not pitch Lucas Ursig, and they should not pitch him in any high leverage situations until his strikeout rate goes up and his walk rate goes down. He is 5th percentile in strikeout rate this entire season. That is horrific. That is Kyle Hendricks would have more strikeouts than this dude.
Jimi Hendrix.
I wouldn't be surprised. And his walk rate's 8th percentile. 15.2% strikeout rate, 13% walk rate. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Until he gets, I get it, the confidence, high leverage, all of that stuff. But until he figures out how to not walk guys and how to strike guys out and get some chase, you cannot put him in any situation where it's the 7th, 8th, or 9th inning right now. I don't get it.
Yeah, I would say, unfortunately, though, they have to get outs and moving forward. I mean, yesterday's the outlier because Cameron went 8 innings. But they need to get the final 9 outs of the game, and there's 2 guys that you trust, but they're not going to be able to throw every single night. So you need to have guys that can go out there and pitch high leverage.
Well, why not try Nate Pierce is my point.
Yesterday?
Yes, yesterday. I would have
gone Pearson over Strom.
You know what Ursig is.
Yeah,
you know he's shown you. You know what Strom is. He has shown you. I get it. It's always but this guy could be anything. Yeah, he might show me he's 2 scoops of ass too, but you've seen this with Ursig and Strom already this entire year.
But also, if you don't want to see what you have in Pearson, then why'd you give up Max Martin?
Correct.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 22 at high A, but he's got 26 pitches at high A, and he's got 24 strikeouts, 9 walks, and a 1 ERA, and a whip of .9. Okay, looks like maybe he's ready to advance to Double A, and maybe that's where he's going to stall out. But it's not like he was a 22-year-old in high A that has a 5 ERA, and you're like, I kind of missed on that one. Let's throw a flyer at a guy that's got team control next year. Like, I mean, Pearson had a 1 ERA for Houston, in the limited time this year before they moved on from him for a guy that, well, let's throw a dart as a college kid who's pitching well at high A right now. I would have gone to Pearson, but that's, again, Strom's the biggest issue that I have with the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason for Strom to be on the roster anymore. I get they want to have 2 lefties for situations like yesterday, but Strom hasn't been good enough. I would be fascinated to know what the conversation would be if Cameron went out in the 9th, and let's say first guy singles through the left side, and they say, well, we'll give him one more batter, and he walks it. First and second, and they go to whoever it would be. If it was Ursig, Pearson, Strom, and they blow the game. Would the conversation be, I cannot believe they let him go out there? Or would it be, I can't believe they went to this guy after Cameron was done, right? Because when we have the knowledge of what went on, like I said, if Ursig doesn't unravel, just makes one more good pitch, in the same way Lane could have made one more good pitch, you go, well, that Ursig got his confidence up a little bit, and that's a hell of a start by Noah Cameron. But they can't do that because this bullpen's poor, and they do need to, like, Monday, this bullpen needs to look completely different.
Yep.
I don't care if Justin Topa, Scott Barlow, Vince Velasquez, Aaron Bummer, Matt Moore are all in this bullpen, or a chunk of them are. I don't care because I know they're not going to be here next year. But losses like yesterday are ones where if you're not going to, nobody's going to lose their job on the coaching staff for that. But that is a type of loss where you say, all right, somebody's got to pay for this. whether it's Lucas Ursig getting optioned to AAA or it's Matt Strom being DFA'd. And if you want to wait till Monday, sure, you're playing Colorado this weekend. It's not like his spot on the roster is going to make a huge difference. But I would like to see today something be done about yesterday. Because the way Lucas Ursig looked in the dugout, that's a guy that's completely lost.
Yep.
I mean, that is a guy that is at his absolute lowest. You feel from him on a human level. I get this is baseball. It's a sport that, hey, it's a tough business. You know, we can feel bad for you, but also you can't hold a spot. That, to me, looks like a guy that can't. Even Matt Strom's face after the home run, he's probably going, what happened this year? I mean, this is not nowhere close to where I've been my entire career. Those are two guys that can't be pitching on a team, even one that's 18 games under 500.
And it shows the difference in the big leagues, because if that sweeper was a couple of more inches down and away and Clemens swings at it, it's off the end of the bat and they win the game. But he hung it, and he set it up perfectly for that sweeper down and away. He just missed, and that's been the issue. The velocity, the stuff isn't there, so that when he misses, he's not getting soft contact. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate you, brother. We'll hear from the Chiefs at some point. They are wrapping up practice here in just a little bit. We'll hear from Andy Reid, Xavier Worthy, Drew Tranquil, Cater Kohu. More Zone next.
Banger.
Yeah, I mean, the last one was really good.
Thank you.
Yeah, you should keep doing more of those because I really, really like them. I think they are good to hear, and more is better.
Real quick, I went to Whiskey Myers Black Crows last night as we wait for pressers. Electric. What amazing.
Nice.
First time ever seen Black Crows. They were awesome. They were great.
I've seen.
No,
Black
I
Crows
know.
outside all
Not
time.
the animal, the band.
I was gonna
Really
say,
big
but-
in the 90s.
Never seen a black crow.
Outstanding.
Just look in the air sometimes. I mean, look up. Stop
First
looking
time
down
going
the
to
whole
Morton
time.
Amphitheater.
You're the-
Electric.
You're the guy that
Great
dribbles.
place.
You dribble. You stare at the ground the whole time. You dribble staring at the ground.
No.
Black
Saltstone.
crows flying by.
I call it Saltstone. So
Is that right?
sandstone. Because
Is it sandstone?
well, instead of Morton Amphitheater.
Oh, I'll always call it sandstone.
Yeah,
It'll always
sandstone.
Be,
And
it'll
so
always
this-
be sandstone to
So
me.
for Morton, 'cause it's salt. It's Saltstone.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You're welcome for that.
I
America.
always felt like sandstone, even though it's different name, but I always thought that sandstone should start every concert when the lights go out with sandstorm.
Oh yeah.
Like that, you know,
That'd
and
be-
then you know it's ready to go at Sandstone because they played Sandstorm.
It'd be great doing that. Then all of a sudden Pantera comes out. That'd
Could
be great. Yeah.
Sure, could be that, or K-State fans.
Yeah, also
flock to
great.
it. They it's like the siren, right? They hear it and then they just all follow it. You know,
Saltstone could have Uncle Salty by Aerosmith.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right.
could do. This is called a dance, which you were doing a little bit last night to Black Crows.
I
We
was.
are
I had some swaying going on.
waiting for Andy Reid. We're told the pressers are going to get started pretty soon. So we'll hear from Andy Reid, Xavier Worthy, Drew Tranquil, and Cater Kohu.
But I do recommend Morton Amphitheater if you've not
Yeah.
been.
I have not.
Really cool. I mean, it is really nice
Yeah.
venue. I was on the lawn, just laid there and
Nice.
relaxed. and-
Laid on the lawn and relaxed. So no dancing for you.
I did both.
Okay. Cater Kohu talking today. I'm interested to hear what he thinks of Cyrus Allen. I'm not even joking. I'm interested to hear what Cater Kohu thinks of, because he's had to guard him. He also got burned by Xavier Worthy yesterday, but that's good. I think it's better to see that with Mahomes to Worthy than it is if Cater Kohu is locking up Xavier Worthy. No, thank you.
Correct.
So we'll hear from him. And Cyrus Allen was the story of practice again today. 2 of the 3 training camp practices, the story has been Cyrus Allen on offense. He had 2 legit catches in 11-on-11 and 7-on-7, one of those being a dart over the middle from Mahomes over, I believe it was CRW, in front of the safety, in which Cyrus Allen had to reach up with his right hand, grab it out of the air with one hand, secure the catch. And then later on in practice, Mahomes, with Cyrus Allen working one-on-one against Noel Williams, throws a deeper back shoulder that Cyrus Allen, by the way, being guarded really well by Noel Williams. And he's able to stop, back shoulder, contested catch with Noel Williams right there. That was more about Cyrus Allen than it was Noel Williams. Because I think that was also, you could say, boy, that's pretty good coverage by Noel Williams. Sometimes there's nothing you can do when the quarterback hits the receiver like that on the back shoulder and you're not staring at the quarterback. Because he was right there in coverage. How would he have known that Cyrus Allen was going to get the ball thrown to him because Noel Williams was blanketing him? But Cyrus Allen turns, catches it, and makes the catch. So 2 big plays where Mahomes throws it to him and he catches the ball, which has been the theme for a few days. Andy Reid is walking up to the podium right now, and here he is.
Everything was good today at practice. We had one injury with Gelati, had a strained hamstring, so we're just checking that out. Got him out of there, and they'll start his rehab and MRI and all that stuff. Don't think it's too bad. Other than that, I like the competition that was going on today. Great effort. The guys challenging each other, and on both sides of the ball, which becomes important on getting better. And we're able to up the practice to 155 today, an hour 55. They've got another one of those tomorrow, then a day off, and then they come back and they're in pads. And then we kick back just a notch, a couple minutes there, back on it. And I started with the padded practice. Anyways, with that, time's yours.
Cyrus made a couple good plays today. Super pass haven't come on yet, but just his point of catch, I just wonder if that's really stood out to you so far, just over a couple of days here.
Yeah, no, listen, he's done a nice job. The quarterback trusts him. This is Cyrus we're talking about. Quarterback trusts him in there, and he's got to clean some things up, but he's willing to work at it and do that. So he's had a productive 2 days. You got to keep stacking those as you go, and then you got to get the pads on, and we'll see from there.
Jack Felix was the next one up after Gelati. I guess what's the outlook for him this year?
Felix is actually doing a nice job. Looks like his get-off explosion is better, and we'll see once the pads get on and going. But yeah, he's shown us some things here.
And yeah, I know you pulled Cyrus off to the side during one of the team periods. Just what are you trying to instill in him when you get those moments of sort of one-on-one?
Yeah, they're little things, just subtle teaching points on routes. Chad does a great job. O'Shea does a great job with him. But if I see something I want to just communicate to him, I try to get that to him. Yeah.
Andy, with Philip Benson with right tackle, what do you see out of him? 2 days in a row now, he's been out there.
Yeah, he and Moore have kind of rotated through that. But listen, he's done a nice job. He's learning. Very strong, powerful, good feet, good athletic ability, and is working at the consistency part scheme-wise. So physically, he's got all the tools there. So he'll just keep working at it, and we'll see where it goes. But he has a lot of talent there. Yeah.
How much growth have you seen from Noel Williams compared to last year, and has he kind of evolved in his rookie year?
Yeah, up to this point, he's done a nice job. He had a good off-season program, the OTA part of it, and then out here he's been strong where he can bend, maintain that bend, and still move with his feet. David overemphasizes all of that. Use your feet, and then be able to build cushions from there and angles, and he does a nice job of that. He's really worked hard at that.
Coach, how can you explain with Khalil just how he's able to go from a tryout after the draft to undrafted to where he's at right now?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got talent. I'm not sure. I want to see. We're early, so I want to see how he does as we go, and can you pound through those 2.5 hour practices in the heat with the pads on and so on, and how do you handle that? And then you've got the preseason game. How do you handle that? So it's a long road, but we'll see. We'll see how he does. But up to this point, my hat goes off to him. He's doing a good job.
What do you expect L'Jarius and Rashid to start doing a little bit more here?
Yeah, we're just building them up. Just going to keep building them up. We know it's going to take a little bit of time. They haven't much on the conditioning part of it and rehab part of it. So we know they can play. We want to be smart getting them there and how we go about that.
Besides what he does on the field, how much does L'Jarius bring back in leadership and mentality to the defense?
Yeah, well, everybody's got confidence. It was here with him. Everybody's got confidence in him. And he's a good guy, and he's a good leader. He's willing to speak up and talk. He knows what's expected of him. You still see he's got the skill. He's got the feet and the quickness and the drive and all that. So just a matter of not doing something stupid here with him as we move forward. So we're being we want to give him a chance to get himself in football shape.
Andy, when the pads do come on, what do you feel like you get to learn about each one of those players?
Yeah, so there's a mental and physical fatigue that can set in, and you got to fight that. So that's what you get with the pads, and you get an idea of where the guys are at, and can they answer the bell the next play, the next day, and then stack those days as you go along.
Anyone ask you just about Mansour, just your thoughts about his first couple days, but also just generally speaking with young players, the balance between them, recognizing this is a different level, but
Sure.
trying to keep your confidence.
Yeah, so he's another one is on the injury report but can work. And he's a tough kid. You remember he was a state wrestling champ, all that stuff, man. He's a tough kid. So he wants to be out there. He wants to do everything. We're not allowing him to use that arm. And so he's out there playing kind of one-handed, but till he's just completely cleared there. We're keeping an eye on him. When we get into the contact stuff, we'll back off a little bit on him there. But he's working his tail off and doing what he can do with that. And it's great for him because he's got to work his feet and his techniques and his level. How high, are you rising up as guys are making moves on you, or you're pedaling? What are you doing there? So it's actually works to his benefit in the long run.
Yeah, same on Ben. Sort of just, what's the plan for him? Are you guys hoping that he will have the yellow contact jersey on or take it off at some point between now and the preseason? Or is it just a slow part of that?
No, I think it's going to come off. It's just we'll see where it all goes here. Yeah. It's time. Just make sure that everything's healed up and good to go. Yeah. All right.
There's Andy Reid. There at the beginning talking about Cyrus Allen that we discussed at the beginning and a number of other things he got into. Khalil Benson I want to talk about because a couple of things he said there that I want to address because we talked about that yesterday. But back-to-back days for Khalil Benson being the starting right tackle. Here is Drew Tranquil.
That's coming together in the first couple days of camp.
Yeah, guys are competing. We got a lot of young guys. Obviously lost some guys in free agency. But the young guys are competing. The guys who have been here, just continue to set the standard, and it's been a good first 3 days of work.
With the linebackers specifically, a lot of youth and inexperience behind you and Nick. What have you seen from those guys to suggest they're ready to step up?
Well, there's a lot of competition in the room. Obviously, that Sam linebacker spot with Leo leaving, guys are competing for reps there. And guys just continue to compete across the board. Spags does a good job of a lot of personnel groups. We all know that. And so, guys are out here in training camp to prove it and earn some reps. He's special, man. He's quick in and out of the breaks. He's going to help us in the passing game. He's dynamic in the screen game. And he's got great acceleration when the ball's in his hands. So to have a guy out there to train you and help you sharpen your blade as you get ready for the season is great.
There's a moment where you dump Walker. You're somehow laddered in the podium. What brings your fire, you think, for training camp? It seems like you are one of the more fired up players right now.
Oh, yeah, small moment. We're just competing at the end of the down, trying to get the ball out punched, and then Kenneth's fired up, throws the ball, and it's all love. We're smiling at each other after the play, but, we're just making each other better rep by rep and, trying to make an emphasis this year to get the ball out. We need to get it out more on defense.
I feel like that intensity is contagious. Is that something that's behind some of that fire?
For sure. There's a play yesterday in practice where they hit us on another screen, and George comes from the backside and literally, hunts Kenneth down 25 yards down the field. You see that on tape, in the afternoon. You're like, dang, man, I got to give more, when it's hot and it's humid. It's easy when you're in the air conditioning on the clicker to say I got to go harder. But when you're, 16, 25, 30 reps into a practice, where's that fire at? And seeing other guys do it certainly helps you bring it.
Facing that screen that's been emphasized more of the offense, just how frustrating has that been for the defense, but how nice is it to see that they're getting it together and have to stop it too.
Well, it's difficult, and when you're a pressure team, teams do that to you. So offenses, they know you like to bring overloads, they know you like to blitz in critical situations. The way you beat that is with screens, and so I think we had our first blitz period today, and so they had a couple screens in there for us. So they're smart on that side of the ball too.
It seems like this question could fit any of the last few years you've been here, but do you take it upon yourself to sort of set just kind of an energy tone here? You and Patrick sometimes talking to each other too.
I think it just makes camp more fun. Like there's no hiding that these are the hardest days of the season, and they should be. You're building the foundation, and this is where all your mental confidence and everything that you can fall back on when things get hard in the season is built. And so when you can lighten the mood and laugh a little bit and, jaw back and forth a little bit, it makes it easier, makes it more fun, and brings the energy to, otherwise long, hard days.
How's Travis looking?
What's that?
How's Travis looking?
Looks young, man. Looks spruce. Looks like a guy who just got married. He's looking good. He's looking good. He's him and Patrick seem to have that connection they've always had, connecting on some critical third downs throughout practice over the past few days. And he's in there blocking. I mean, he's in line and blocking, so they're still asking him to do everything.
Drew, whenever the Pats do come on, how different is it out there?
I mean, that's when real football starts. We can put the jerseys on and run around all here, but it's not a 7-on-7 league. And that's when the real football starts. So it's nice to get out here, get your legs underneath you, get moving, do some football-related movements. But next week's going to get real. It's going to get real. Thanks, guys.
All right, there's Drew Tranquil, and we'll hear from Kader Kohou coming up here in just a second, but a lot to get into there. A little dust-up between Kenneth Walker and Drew Tranquil. Screen pass. Drew came over to try to knock the ball out. Kenneth Walker, and he collides. Walker hits the ground, jumps up, and throws the football at Drew Tranquil. We'll talk about that. Here's Kader Kohou.
That's really it. You could tell they got a great culture here and stuff like that. And I knew some of the guys that were already on the team before, so having talks with them, I like everything I was hearing. I knew Josh, Chris used to play here, and I met Chris Jones before.
What matched up with Cyrus Allen a little bit out here? What stands out just about him?
He's a good player, quick. So.
What was your year out of football, and what was maybe the most challenging part of that?
I think the most challenging was like the earlier parts when I couldn't walk and do the normal stuff I'm used to doing. But I felt like that year sitting down, I kind of learned a lot about myself, and it kind of made me grow like a little more love for football and cherish it a little more because it can get taken away anytime.
Where are you at now? Do you feel 100%? Do you feel healthy?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Yes, sir. Maybe going into OTAs, I was a little, but them 6 weeks we took off was big, and now I'm like, I think a year removed, and so I'm good now. Yes, sir.
You're with a lot of new guys on the secondary, including yourselves. How have you guys tried to mesh together, and then are you adjusting to this new playbook that you're doing?
We knew that going in, so during OTAs and stuff, we were having dinners and stuff like that. And when during lunch, even at training camp, we try to sit together and talk and stuff like that. But with the playbook, it was challenging in OTAs, but I feel like for the most part, we're getting the hang of it now.
They come here with a reputation as being a slot corner. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you probably feel that's your best position, but do you feel like there's other things you could bring to the secondary as well?
Yeah, most definitely. Whatever they need me, I feel like I can play. It's just I leave that up to Spags though, wherever he sees me fit. But yeah, I feel like I can play multiple positions. So.
When it comes to the pads, knowing you haven't been in pads in so long,
you should say that again.
Either you want to demonstrate when the pads come on, especially given you haven't been in pads in a while.
Nah, not really. It's like riding a bike. I think it just comes natural.
Dave Merritt has a reputation of being one of the best defensive backs coaches in the NFL. What early on, what are some of the takeaways from him and playing under him?
He's going to challenge the hell out of you, and you can tell he knows a lot about football, and he's very attentive to details, and he demands that from his players too. That's the most thing I've seen.
Asked about the slot earlier. What is your appreciation for the difficulty of playing inside?
My appreciation for it.
What goes into being good at that?
I think it's like a willingness. You have to want to be physical, want to tackle, and that's really it. Once you have that want to, I think it becomes pretty easy because it's just like playing corner, you're just covering, stuff like that.
You're competing for a spot in the DB room, but you competed all your life, especially as an undrafted free agent. Mm-hmm. Is this any different?
Nah, I think everyone are competing. Going into training camp every year, they bring guys in and guys leave. So if you lose that competitive edge, I think that's the quickest way to get your way out the NFL.
Along the lines, the Chiefs are trying to replace Trent McDuffie, who was also a great slot corner. Mm-hmm. What do you feel about the competition? There's a lot of you guys that are in there kind of competing for that spot. What have you kind of learned from them, and what's the competition been like for you?
I think that would be a better question for the coaches, honestly.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Gary.
Appreciate it.
Kader Kohou's stature matches his elaboration and his extensive answers there. Quick, to the point, why the Chiefs, coaches, and Cyrus Allen, he's a good player. He's quick. The most that he gave there was talking about Dave Merritt. which we can talk a little bit about. But here is Xavier Worthy.
Past 2 years, so I can't tell you for everything, but he looks pretty good. Obviously, past one of the hardest workers on the team. He's worked so hard to get back from that knee, and obviously he's a leader on the team, and he wants to show guys that he's all in, so we're all in with him.
You guys had that deep ball connection yesterday. Is that something that you worked on in the offseason?
Yeah, whenever we got the opportunity, he was limited in OTA, so we tried our hardest to work at it, and we're going to continue working on it throughout this camp. Oh yeah, sorry. This isn't even surprising. I told y'all guys in the offseason that Cyrus is doing this, and he's gonna continue showing out in camp.
What was your excitement to be able to ditch the yellow jersey and be out here and just full up?
Oh yeah, I mean, the yellow jersey that was just something precautionary. Coming into camp, obviously I knew I was gonna get into more contact, building the shoulder up, and I feel fine. I feel good.
How do you feel compared to even after you started playing last year? Were you ever fully 100%? How much better do you feel now compared to last year?
Last year, I was never 100%. I was never going to be 100% until I got the surgery. So I got the surgery, been working on it, building muscle mass, obviously working at it in the offseason, getting stronger, and obviously building that shoulder back.
Xavier, outside of trying to get yourself physically ready for camp and everything, what did you try to do when you looked at film of yourself that what you could do from a route running standpoint and everything like that?
I mean, last year was kind of hard to look at because my routes kind of got changed, and I couldn't run a lot of things that I would normally run and couldn't run it in a way that I would want to. So I was kind of just looking at it as in, what would I do in this situation when I was watching the film? And there was a lot of things that I could have done and could have done better, and obviously I worked at it in the offseason.
I know we're still pretty early in the camp, Xavier, but when you actually look at the installs and the plays that you guys are putting together, how different or unique is it compared to what you saw from the offense the first 2 years?
Yeah, I mean, the offense is pretty much the same. We're just fine-tuning and obviously dialing in on the fundamentals and obviously our plays that made us what we were. And we kind of cut a lot of things out. Obviously, Coach Reed probably talked about it, and we're just attacking the fundamental plays and making those plays on the field.
See yourself taking a bigger leadership role this year?
Yeah, definitely that's something I want to do. I don't want to be a guy that's obviously all loud. I'm a kind of lead by example. If guys need help, need obviously wisdom in certain routes, I kind of been here. I know a little bit now. Obviously, I'm a third year, but just still young. But get it, guys. Obviously lined up, telling them, "Oh, you can run this on this play." Just being that leader, obviously letting the guys know that they can run certain routes certain ways.
How nice is it going to be? Would you get number 4 back out there with you, being able to play?
Yeah, it's obviously huge to get Rasheed back. He's a dynamic player. Can't wait to have him back fully in the offense.
Relationship with Andy Reid changed in camp, in your third year now?
Yeah, obviously Coach Reed has a little more trust in me. Obviously coming back, building that leadership role is something that we talked about. Obviously being more vocal, something I need to work on, obviously, and then obviously coming out and just showing by example. That's something I want to work on too as well.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right, there's Xavier Worthy. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back, continue rolling. Coming up pretty soon, we'll talk with Matt Derrick. He's still obviously doing some work there in St. Joe training camp, but we'll catch up with Matt Derrick when he is free. Mick Schaefer coming up in the show. Cuts before the show is over. More Zone next. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you. Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy heading up until 2 o'clock. We'll talk with Mick Schaefer coming up about an hour from now, and we got the cuts before the show is over. We talk with our man Matt Derrick. Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast, joining us here in the zone. Matt, what's up, brother? How you doing?
I am doing relatively well, Jason. I'm hot off the field. I am literally just moving my car to a parking space with better ambient sound and everything.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Hey, maybe we'll get a little gnat sound out here, the fans coming streaming out of the stadium and everything. So, we'll have just a high old time over here.
Look, Matt, I said on over the weekend, and then the pressers, whenever, maybe Monday, I'm not sure, whatever it was. The press conferences for Monday or whenever because that was the Andy Reid surprise availability with obviously what took place in Virginia. But we heard from some of the UDFAs, and I said, Matt, it is not training camp press conferences until we hear the Gator in the background driving and the kids screaming for autographs. Now we get training. We got last couple of days. We got training camp press conferences, actual press conferences with kids asking for autographs and the Gators moving the equipment up the hill.
That is the true natural sound of training camp. I mean, until you get that, it's not training camp.
Yep,
I mean,
we're here.
It's I could say what it is, but I don't think I'm allowed to say that word on the air.
It's underwear football, but that's what Steve Spagnuolo called it.
I was gonna go Costanza out there for anybody who
What is it, Matt? I'm intrigued.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It's an it's a commercial break word.
Yeah, he'll call you he'll text you. Anybody out there listening already has that. Matt, I a number of things that I was going to start with. I didn't want to make this the Cyrus Allen interview, but we'll get into that.
It's going to be.
We'll get into that here in just a little bit. But I want to start with what we heard at the very end of Xavier Worthy, and to see if your eyes can tell us what Xavier Worthy was talking about. He was asked about the early install and how different it is from years past, if it's different. And he said it's pretty much the same, fundamentals, focusing on some of those plays. Quote, "We cut a lot of things out, but Coach Reed's probably already talked about that," end quote. Have you seen anything different to where maybe last year, the year before that, they would be doing some other things install-wise that you're not seeing so far? And what would you make of we cut a lot of things out? What do we think they've cut out from what the installs would be, or what the base part of their main offense, which is going on right now, that they are just not even putting in?
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit, I mean, maybe we're just not far enough into camp and everything and didn't get enough during OTAs and maybe I'm just not bright enough to figure it out, Jason. Maybe there's some others who've already picked up the clues and everything. I don't know if I've seen enough to be able to say, hey, that they've definitively taken out some things that maybe they used to do. There might be a few things, and one thing I will say, I mean, I from the first, what have we got, 3 days of full camp here and everything like this. I mean, one thing I will say we've seen a lot more of is we've seen a lot more of the evolved screen game, and I know that's been a little bit of a talk overall, but you're seeing it more with the running backs in particular, some quick hits to the tight ends today, which have always been a part of it. But I think there was one bubble screen to a wide receiver today, and and that used to be a kind of a bread and butter play. So, maybe.
Well, Rashee Rice isn't on the field, so you can't do that yet. Once he gets on the field, then you can do that over and over again to him.
Yeah, you could very well. We'll see about that. And, and obviously, a lot's being made about them going more under center. And I will agree that they are going more, but I don't want to oversell it. I don't want to make it sound like they're going under center 70% of the time, because that's not the case either. If anything, I mean, there might be some just particular elements. Maybe there's some pistol elements that they've kind of gotten rid of it. Remember too, I mean, there's probably a lot of run game elements that they've completely changed or gotten rid of because they were things that Pacheco and Kareem Hunt could do, and they don't have the same backfield anymore. So I think those have probably changed quite a bit. And and they're still taking shots downfield. Don't get me wrong, but it also, I think, for the fans, Serena and I have talked a lot about this too. Just medium outs, 10-yard outs that used to be kind of a staple of this offense that I think they kind of got away from. Those seem to be coming back too. So I think there might be a few things that they've really cut, but to me, it's a lot more about some of the things that are either emphasizing or adding.
So wishful thinking here. And I'm not out there watching the practices. I can only see the clips that are there, but this is wishful thinking. In the years past, this early in training camp, have we seen them, even though it's more of a 7-on-7 and passing camp early on, until the pads come on and they can do the 11-on-11 and hit a little bit with the running backs? Have we seen in the past early on more RPOs, and we're not seeing them this year? Because that's my wishful thinking when he says we cut a lot of things out. In my mind, I'm going, RPOs? RPO? Have you cut out RPOs? Or are you not doing those anymore? So again, that pops into my head of hoping that's the case, but in years past, have we seen them do that early on? And if so, are we seeing those this camp so far?
Yeah, and it's a little bit difficult for me to say for sure, because there was even a play today, and it was one that actually Garrett Nussmeier was running, and it certainly had the elements of an RPO.
Yeah.
For me, sometimes if a play is a run play, I'm not always completely sure whether it was designed to be just a run play or it's an RPO, because I mean an RPO and a run where the quarterback fakes a pass afterwards and everything. I mean they look alike, and unless the quarterback keeps it and decides to throw it himself. But I just joked, when Nussmeier ran that play. See, the RPO is alive and well. There's much fewer of them. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, that's another thing I think you could probably say has been de-emphasized. And not go away completely. I mean, and that's another thing. One of my colleagues and I were discussing is the fact that, I mean, Mahomes is good at them. They just, last year the RPOs didn't work. A good chunk of why the RPOs didn't work was because nobody fell for the banana in the tailpipe.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, one, Mahomes is almost never going to, hand it off on a run play, on an RPO.
Yeah.
He's going to throw it anyway. And two, what did it matter? If somebody ran the football, it wasn't going to go anywhere because teams didn't, have any worries about this team's run game.
Yep.
I think they could be more effective this year, but I think they're also going to be lesser this year based on what we've seen so far.
We'll hear from Andy Reid on Monday. So maybe he'll weigh in on the things they've cut, or maybe he's already talking to Xavier Worthy right now about what he said in the press conference about we've cut some things out. Hey, buddy, why don't you shut up? No, I haven't. Actually, I haven't talked about that, okay? So, don't. You know what happens, Worthy, when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me. And now I'm an ass, and on Monday I'm going to get asked about what we've cut out. Thanks a lot, Worthy. You know what? Go, Gasser, go. Get out of my face.
Oh, he's going to get asked on Monday.
I don't want to even look at you right now. I don't even look at you right now.
You're assuming that's not part of the plan.
Oh,
I
good
mean,
point.
You're assuming that, hey, Xavier wasn't told to say that, just to set this whole thing up.
Easter eggs.
Exactly.
Yep, little drop-ins.
Setting it up for, just a little, because, hey, we've done it before. We've had a little contest to say, hey, can you drop this into a press conference? And then, of course, Jimmy Fallon does the same thing and says, hey, can you say roller coaster tycoon? And then,
Yeah, we haven't. I don't think we've heard one of those yet. Those are typically. It's very hard for the players to pull those off, and sometimes they stick out like a sore thumb. We'll see when those maybe start happening. But before we take a break and bring you back and talk about other things that are going on, pads on Monday. Is that what I heard? He was going through the schedule. Practice tomorrow, off day Sunday, and then pads on Monday, or an easier day before pads.
Nope, they get the day tomorrow and then off day on Sunday to get ready for pads.
Okay, that's what he meant.
So,
all right. So
yep.
I didn't know specifically if he was saying pads and easier ramp up to pads by having the off day Sunday, or off day Sunday, easier practice Monday, boom, pads. So pads on Monday. So that's good.
Pads on Monday. Thank you to the CBA.
Yes, one more practice and then that. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk with Matt Derrick, what he has seen so far. And, of course, the main thing we all have eyes on with every single video is what's Mahomes look like in person with the knee. We'll talk about that next with Matt Derrick. All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy. We're talking with Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest 41 is the mic, hanging out here on a Friday edition. All right, let's talk about Patrick Mahomes and everybody breaking down the video. And everybody very sensitive, not everybody, but a lot of people very sensitive of those that are breaking down the video, including my incredibly sarcastic, very obvious exaggeration sarcasm of Mahomes throwing the football was taken as a serious analysis by way too many because it's Twitter, and I should be smarter than that. But you've been watching all of these plays and not just these video clips. What does Patrick Mahomes look like to you?
Well, I mean, you nailed it, Jason. I mean, clearly, I mean, from what everybody you've been hearing and seeing and everything, if you don't think that Mahomes is going to be back by week 7 or 8, I mean, it's a problem. But
the best part about that is, like, I specifically said a part of his leg that you can't even see in the video. Like, you can't even see it in the video. That was the point. Like, well, his front plant foot, which is blocked by the center. Like, it's so obvious, guys.
See, here's the thing, Jason. You're working on a whole different level than most people.
Sure.
You know, so see, I understand and appreciate your comedy.
Thank you.
I'm
the one.
I'm intelligent like you, so I get it and everything. I understand how others, you know, are like, this guy. Come on, I mean, you know, that's yeah, I get it.
Yes,
you just got to be on a certain level here. But I
Thank
mean,
you.
you know, funny thing is that I think you and I talked last Friday when I was at the gas station near St. Joe, and I said, you know, I mean, I have some checkpoints for Mahomes and everything like this.
Yeah.
He still needs to get through. And oddly enough, I mean, he said later today that day that he had some checkpoints. I think our checkpoints for Mahomes are different than his. I mean, mine are probably more like milestones. I mean, it was, I want to see him take some hits in a preseason game. I want to see him get 11 on 11. I want to see him in pads, these kind of things. Let's see what happens. I think his are more, you know, executing things. He wants to be able to run away from a Chris Jones, or he wants to, you know, make some moves, and he wants to be able to roll out in a certain way. He just wants to have some comfort level. Based on some of his actions and everything like that, I think he wants to make sure that he can celebrate the way that he wants to on the field and not have to worry about. But here's the thing: in the last week since this guy's gotten on the field on Saturday in front of us, I see no concerns or reservations whatsoever. I mean, I know a few people are nitpicking and saying, oh, well, he's grabbing at his brace sometimes and all these things. And it's like, yeah, I mean, when you're playing with a brace, that happens.
Yes.
I mean,
you adjust it.
I've never, exactly. I mean, I've never played with a brace. I've only walked with a brace. And you adjust it because it comes loose all the flipping time. And I'm convinced at some point during camp, I mean, he's probably just going to get frustrated, just take the brace, throw it off, and run a few plays and everything.
My hair isn't sprained or strained, but I've adjusted my hat like 20 times since we've been on the show here. So clearly I keep going to my hat, so that means that it's bothering me.
But I mean, after seeing him on the field and after hearing from him last week, I mean, I felt like he's who he is, which Patrick Mahomes is all gas, no brakes.
Yep.
He's not going to go out there and play half-heartedly. And when I asked him this, back in the summer, about just how does he, manage going into games knowing that, he's not 100%. And he's like, I don't go into any game thinking I'm not 100%. I mean, that's just how he plays and how he practices. So I don't see any concerns. I mean, barring an unusual setback or a re-injury, which shows no signs of being on the bingo card, this dude's playing week 1, and I think today he had a couple. He had a couple this week. One today was he had a screen to Kenneth Walker that he threw, which obviously is the easiest throw in the book and everything. But nothing to get too excited about. But once he saw that Walker, made a move, made a couple of guys miss, did his little stutter step thing, and then he realizes he's got 3 guys in front of him, and Mahomes is like shooting his arms up in the air and jumping, and everything on a freaking screen pass.
Yeah.
And and earlier this week he had a ball that he threw. I think it was to Tyquan Thornton, and he just missed him, just lightly overthrew it, and he was jumping up before the ball was in the air, thinking that this is touchdown and everything. And then when it wasn't, he kind of jumped up again in frustration. But that's what he's doing. I mean, other than this guy's out there with a brace on his left leg, I don't see any difference between Mahomes now and Mahomes a year ago.
Yeah, and by the way, lucky day for some of the kids there because autograph day today is defensive backs, but Patrick Mahomes stopped and signed a bunch of autographs today on his way off the field. So he rarely, honestly, he signs autographs, but he rarely stops on the training camps and comes over, especially when it's not like quarterback day. And so a big day for the kids, walking off and stops, and he was there for a while signing autographs. So that's cool. You know what he didn't do, Matt? You know what it tells me? He didn't immediately run in and have to get treatment. I think he's 100%.
That's one thing for sure. Yeah,
I think he's 100%.
It is a good clue.
There you go. Matt Derrick is our guest. So Cyrus Allen, let's talk about him. Xavier Worthy said that I told you guys, it's not a surprise, told you guys that this was the case. It's been 3 straight days of camp that Cyrus Allen has looked good. So it's not like hey, he had a couple of good catches, one on Wednesday and one on Friday, and so people get excited. What have you seen from him, and how much, Matt, do you put in to stock with how often maybe it seems from the outside looking in, how often it seems that Mahomes is looking for Cyrus Allen in 7-on-7, 11-on-11, and throwing his way?
Yeah, and I can't even limit it to 3 days because in my book it's 13. Because going back through OTAs, the 4 OTA practices that were open to us, and the mini camp practices that were open to us for rookies, I've yet to see this dude have a bad practice. I mean, I'm not saying there haven't been moments when maybe he said, hey, we had a route that he went the wrong way or had a drop, maybe a ball he should have got his hands on. But, I mean, by and large, this guy has had good practice after good practice. He's just, as they like to say in the old football world, he's stacking days. And same thing today. I mean, and it's not – I'm less impressed by the magnificent catches. Like he had one-handed grab today that was really impressive. I'm more impressed by, he's getting mugged by Noel Williams and manages to catch the football, has a contested catch. Those are the things that you got to be able to put away. And I think he's a much better possession receiver than, maybe he was advertised to be. I mean, there's only, to me, so far with this guy, you could look at it and say maybe he's got 2 faults. Maybe he's got 2 faults because he's only about 6 feet tall, give or take. So maybe, hey, if we were 6'3", maybe we'd be just really super excited about this dude. And he doesn't run a 4.35. I mean, but then again, remember what did Jerry Rice run? Like a 4.87? I mean, it's not all about speed. And the thing that's interested me about him since the Chiefs drafted him was that, again, he was not their prototypical guy. He's not just a speed merchant that you're hoping that maybe you can teach to catch the football or, can be one of these guys that just once he gets the ball in space, he can make things happen. This guy's a receiver. He knows how to run routes. He knows how to catch the football. You don't have to teach him those kind of things. You just have to teach him plays. And that's what I think is special about this kid. I have no illusions about Cyrus Allen. I mean, I'm not hyping him up to be a 1,600-yard receiver or anything. I don't think he's going to be like an 800-yard receiver year one. I mean, I'm not putting those kind of expectations. But can he be a well above average rookie for the Chiefs this year? Yeah, I think so. Can he be a guy that maybe does become a 1,000-yard receiver and is just a really good complement as the number 2 guy? Yeah, I mean, maybe he'll exceed my expectations. Maybe he's going to be the next, Jefferson, and he's going to have 1,800-yard season just because he's that proficient and talented as a receiver, despite not having blazing speed or incredible height or anything, incredible size. I don't know, but this guy just looks the part of a receiver.
July 31st, 11:54 a.m., 399.5 over under for Cyrus Allen this year.
Oh man, I would hammer that. Yeah,
over 399.5.
Yeah, I would hammer that.
Cool. Hey, I mean, if he gets 4, I'll take it right now. I like to settle out of court for things, and so if you've got hopefully a healthy Rice and Worthy and newly married Kelsey and Tyquan Thornton, and maybe what Kenneth Walker can do. And if you add in, if Cyrus Allen's getting 400 yards or more receiving, I think the receiving group becomes a little bit better at that point.
Who has more receiving yards, Tyquan Thornton or Cyrus Allen?
Man,
that gets really, really, really interesting because I think there's a reasonable chance that Cyrus Allen plays more than Tyquan Thornton this year.
Boy, Tyquan's going to be so pissed.
And maybe becomes the number 3 guy, and maybe earlier than we think. I mean, and again, unfortunately for Taekwondo, it kind of comes down to diversity of skills. And right now, I mean, hey, if I had to run a streak or a fly on the outside, I'm throwing it to Taekwondo Thornton.
Mm-hmm.
If I've got probably any other route in the book, my first choice is going to be Cyrus Allen. So I still think that both of them have a place and they could put up some yards, but I think I would probably go Cyrus Allen at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's looked the part. What about, this is giving me a little pause, but we'll see. Dane Brugler in his The Beast writes about Cyrus Allen. One of the last lines in his breakdown was, he shows quickness and ball skills that will stand out during training camp. Boy, he's nailed that, by the way.
There is a reason why that's the first thing I read every year. And, my number one resource, because Dane nails it. He does his work. He knows people. He does the scouting. And
is there any concern that it's quickness and ball skills that will stand out during training camp, and not necessarily that this guy's going to translate into the actual games, but just what he does will make him look good in training camp, but what's he going to do in games?
Well, I mean, I suppose that was his only prediction. Was that he was going to stand out during camp. But I think that's going to translate the games, Jason. I'm not sure. I mean, I could be mistaken, but here's the thing, and I say this in one of my Nick Jacobs voices from the 41 is the Mike podcast. You don't know what you got until the pads come on.
Yep. Pads, training camp padded practice enthusiast.
Exactly.
Is what
until the pads come on Monday. I mean, we've seen it before. I don't think this will happen. I don't think that Cyrus Allen is going to just shrink into a violet and be, yesterday's news by a week from now. I don't think that will happen. I don't think he's going to have his jersey up in the rafters of St. Joe's training fields alongside Junior Hemingway and Devin Key, but I think he'll be fine.
You said St. Joe, so it took away some of the others training camp darlings that we've seen in the past.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, Jesse Haynes obviously has his hanging up there in River Falls, but
yep, we've seen some River Falls ones that have been really good, but the St. Joe is a little different. Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest, 41 is the Mike podcast. Matt, can we have one more segment with you?
Absolutely.
All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. I do want to talk about what the impact may be with Eric Bieniemy missing some time, and then we've wondered about undrafted free agents, and Matt told us last week he thinks there are 3 spots on the roster for undrafted free agents. One of those guys has been starting the last couple of days. We'll talk about that and what it may mean as Matt Derrick joins us. Training camp day number 3 in the books. One more pajama practice, as Spags calls it, before pads come on Monday. More Zone next. Hanging out with Matt Derrick. He is in St. Joe. Nice weather coming in as opposed to last weekend that was incredibly hot. Should be a little nicer tomorrow. Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. Matt, let's start with Eric Bieniemy, and then we'll get into some of the things roster-wise. We all know the details, and it seems like she's progressing, which is the best news. We always emphasize the real life, the personal stuff that matters the most. We do cover sports here. What do you, depending on how long he's out, how much do you think there is an impact for the Chiefs in training camp without having Eric Bieniemy there, since we've spent the offseason talking about what he will do for the team at training camp?
Yeah, and that was the one thing that during the first 2 days of camp, and it was just so obvious that was different this year, was EB's voice. And there's no crowd there. It's just the players and the media, so it's a little bit quieter. But the only thing that meant is just that you could hear every single word that Eric Bieniemy said all day long.
Yeah.
I mean, and make it out clearly,
right?
To the point that hey, Chiefs PR was going along and just like, hey, remember anything that the coaches say during a closed practice is off the record.
Funny.
So you won't hear it from us, but it was classic EB, and and again, it's breaking guys down, critiquing them on the field live, but also building them up when they make good plays. I mean, you get it all with EB, and that was obvious. And I think it's even been obvious this week with the crowds coming in. You would normally hear EB's voice and punctuating things. And he's got behind the scenes too, because obviously when they're in meetings, he's vocal. The reason that we talked about that they brought EB back was about bringing back accountability and adding that to this team, and that's what he does. So I don't think there's any doubt they're going to miss it. I mean, who's filling in as offensive coordinator? That's a red herring. I mean, nobody's really filling in. I mean, I think some people took Andy Reid's answer the other day kind of odd way. I mean, we'll see. We're supposed to hear from an offensive coordinator in theory here at the press conferences, and to my knowledge, the Chiefs still haven't said who will fill that role, if anyone. But I don't really get the sense that like Joe Blameyer is just filling in as OC. Maybe he's calling in the plays, but Andy Reid also mentioned that Andy Heck is their de facto run game coordinator. Doesn't have that title, but he's the equivalent of Joe Blameyer. I mean, there's nobody who's really taking EB's. You can't take EB's place. So that's, like I said, that's kind of a red herring to me. It's just they're missing his critique, his analysis, his feedback for the players, his accountability, and on the field and in meetings, and honestly in meetings with the staff. And I know Andy Reid said he's getting film and he's watching it, from where he's at in Ashburn and DC and everything, but it's not the same as him being here, and so they're going to miss him.
Yeah, I think there is an impact depending on how long he's out. If he's back on Monday, who knows? Take his time, as much time as he needs, and they've talked about that. But hopefully, he's back soon, because him being back soon would tell you that a lot of other things are going well as I guess you could hope in this incredibly rough situation that everybody's in.
How's Chad O'Shea been?
Yeah.
How has Chad O'Shea differed maybe from Connor Embry? Have you seen much change? Is it a little overblown, underblown? What have you seen with Chad?
No, I mean it's a little bit the same things that we talked about during OTAs. I mean he is vocal, but now here's the thing: is that like a lot of the receiver work that they do at training camp is literally on the opposite side of the planet from the media side of things. So they're working out like 150 yards away from us most of the time. So that makes it a little bit difficult to hear too much or anything like that. But I'll say this: when it was during the 2 days that there were no fans there and everything, I only heard two voices for the most part clearly ringing out during practice. And after EB's, it was Chad O'Shea. So no, he's just as vocal, and he's given the same critiques to his guys, and like I said, he's the same way. He's loving them up and breaking them down too. So, and yeah, I think the workouts are different, some of the drills that they go through, and hey, whether it's a combination of things, whether it's maturity, I mean, I do think that we're seeing some different things from this receiver group this year. Now, let's see what happens when Rashee Rice gets on the field full time, and if that maintains itself.
visiting with Matt Derrick. As maybe a comparison sake, did we hear much from Connor Embry voice in some of those things? And I guess last year they didn't have the rookie stuff, so maybe it wouldn't have been able to stand out. But there are different ways of coaching. You don't have to yell and scream all the time to be a coach. Andy Reid is not a yeller or a screamer, and most people think a pretty significantly good head coach that demands respect. Was Embry a guy who was very vocal at times last year?
He was never a really vocal guy. I mean, he was a quiet guy. So, I can't say that I never ever really heard Connor Embry's voice on the field that much. But again, that's not a shot. That's just that every coach is different. And I mean, here's the thing. It's like there's guys like Andy Reid and Dave Merritt. When you hear them on the field, man, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah, that's true. Matt Derrick is our guest. Chiefs Digest 41 is the Mike podcast. So I wanted to talk to you about some of the UDFAs. And last week we asked you about UDFAs or guys that maybe whether we call it a surprise or not. And you said that there would be, in your mind, 3 undrafted free agents that you would be saving a roster spot for that you think will make the team. And a lot of people, myself included, because we went through the exercise of putting our 53-man roster together before training camp started, and Khalil Benson on the roster for Sterling and I. And so we saw that, or we put that on there before we've seen the last couple of days of training camp. He's been starting with the ones at right tackle. I'll just start off with, what's your analysis of that, and what do you take away from the number 1 offensive line has Khalil Benson at right tackle right now?
Yeah, it's curious for a lot of reasons. And, one is that normally the Chiefs make rookies of this nature and everything, and any rookie kind of fight for their starting spot a little bit. It's not every rookie that comes in. Now, Mansour Delane has pretty much been handed the starting spot, even though he's not 100%. He's wearing that yellow contact jersey, but he's their starting corner, and that's where they're lining him up. I mean, Peter Woods, he's not a starter yet. I mean, he's first-round pick, but he's got Kyrie's Tonga in front of him at basically not his position, but he's got him in front of him, and he's on the line. He's got Chris Jones in front of him at the position that he plays, so that makes sense. I mean, it's different for everybody, but rarely. Actually, I'm not going to say that. I have never in my entire life of covering this team, and this is 11th season, and obviously watched this team long before that. I can't remember a tryout player from rookie minicamp starting 2 of the first 3 practices. It's unbelievable. I mean, normally, like I said, you would have this guy would be the guy trying to fight for that spot, and instead it's the other way around. I mean, the Chiefs have got, at this point, they've got Jalen Moore and Essa Pillay and anybody else that's in the picture trying to fight Khalil Benson for the job. I still don't know if it's real. I mean, you look at him and the pads are not on yet, so I look and I just refreshed it, because when we were talking about Dane Brugler, I was looking at his beast description of Khalil Benson going into this conversation. It's like, hey, the dude's almost 6'6". He's got 34-plus-inch arms. I mean, it's a part. He played right tackle for the national champions. It's like, how did this guy sneak under the radar? I mean, how did every NFL team pass on him repeatedly and then get signed to free agent classes and say, no, we don't need this guy? I don't understand. And there's nothing about this that makes any sense, Jason. And then add to this, since he's the flavor of training camp and everything, and it has been since OTAs when he was starting, we've been saying, like, hey, can we talk to Khalil Benson? Let's get him on the podium and everything. And they're like, yeah, well, we'd like to wait a little bit. Wait for what? I mean, it's like, now I don't know. I mean, there's part of me that, and I say this just completely jokingly, and I'm not trying to get myself into trouble. It makes me think that this kid must have some sort of serious social disorder for them not to put him up there. I mean, is he like Charles Haley or something? I don't know. I mean, I am completely baffled at this point because the kid looks like an NFL player, and right now he looks like an NFL starter.
Yeah, you mentioned it's not just a priority free agent. Like if you had, who was it? Xavier Wampa the other day said that in the 5th round is when he started talking to the Chiefs. I think that's Xavier Wampa. So, that's a little bit different when it's like, okay, we may draft you, but if not, we want to bring you in here to train to camp and sign you as an undrafted free agent, and those are the priority free agents that you have after the draft. You mentioned it. Khalil Benson was a rookie camp invite and tryout. Like he was a tryout guy, and he's here starting day 2 and day 3. Andy Reid today talked about it, and he said, he's talented. We're early. I want to see how he handles things. And so I wonder, if they have an idea of, all right, so we've seen Jalen Moore, we've seen Esapole. This guy is talented. Why did he go through the draft undrafted? Why did we not even have him as a priority free agent? And he was a rookie tryout. He's looked pretty good. Well, early on, let's see. Let's see what he does early on. And if he doesn't have it, we can move on. And we can look at some other guys and get ready for the season. But early on, if he's, handling what we're throwing at him, and then the next day doing the same thing, and then the pads come on and he's doing that, okay, maybe we have something here. I just wonder if it's a longer training camp, maybe early on you take the time, Matt, to see what you have in some guys that you want to get a early look at, instead of a month from now you're going, well, we got a couple of practices left. Let's get Khalil Benson in there before cut down to see what we have in him.
Yeah, and and again, I mean, if they really liked what they had, and this is just an effort. I mean, this is the exact opposite of what you would normally try to do if you're trying to hide somebody. I mean, if you're thinking to yourself, hey, this is a dude we like, and we'd like to get him on the practice squad. I mean, the last thing you would do is start him, because let's face it, I mean, this is a different world. I mean, and the Chiefs know this, so it's like they have to know that they can't hide anything. There's scouts in that practices probably every single day, and if there aren't, there is Twitter. So, I mean, every team in the NFL knows what the Chiefs are doing with this dude right now. They're going to be on the lookout. The one thing that jumps out to me, and I would like to know this and talk to Khalil about this, is that, if you go back to that scouting report that Dane Brugler had, and like I said, I mean, Dane does a really good job, so he's usually reflecting what the NFL scouts are saying. Hey, this guy's got the size, he's got the strength, he's got sloppy technique, and that's it. And, other aspects of the game are solid. And you know what? I mean, if Khalil Benson heard that, if he saw that, and he went and got himself a coach, and I don't know, maybe went down to Dallas and worked with Duke Manyweather or something. If he went off on if he after the season was over and then they won a national championship in January and went off somewhere to work on his technique, that's not going to get factored into the draft, because most teams aren't bringing in the 29th ranked tackle and right tackle at that in for a workout. So if he did that work, no NFL team would have noticed it. That's true. I mean, maybe you give kudos to the Chiefs for being that team that's like, wait a minute, hey, maybe this guy's better than we think. He was on a national championship team. Yeah. Maybe he's better than we think. So let's bring him in for a tryout and see what happens.
Yeah, and even if he did go out and do that work, I mean, you go to pro days or combine or whatever, you're not putting the pads on and going up against Akeem Mesidor. You're not throwing Ruben Bain out there to say, see, I've improved on my technique by doing this and this. Well, you can't prove it until you get somewhere, and then you get some pads on and things like that. And we'll find out. Maybe it's easier without the pads to show that he's got some technique. But then when the pads come on and you're getting pushed around real and hit hard and things like that, then, okay, maybe the technique lapses and he gives up some easy wins by the defense, and it's like, okay, there you go. That's what they wanted to see, win pads and how he handles it. And that's one of the things Andy Reid said was, want to see how he handles the pads and the heat and working through some of those things. Visiting with Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest 41 is the mic. This is a passing camp so far. We know that. We understand that. It's been a passing camp since the first OTAs and minicamp. But with that being said, it certainly feels like almost every other video I see of Kenneth Walker, it's a screen pass that he's catching. Is there something to that Andy talked about and Brett Veach talked about signing Kenneth Walker, that they do not believe that the passing game is lacking in his repertoire as a running back, that he can be a part of the passing game? Is this the return of the screen game, the return of Andy Reid mastermind screens with Kenneth Walker there, a guy that has burst and vision, and maybe Andy felt like, well, it's Kareem Hunt that can't burst quick enough, or Pacheco that doesn't see the open field anyway, so it's a waste. Is there something to all of these screen passes that at least I'm seeing to Kenneth Walker?
No, there's something to it for sure. I mean, it is going to be the return of the screen game. Whether it's going to be like what it was maybe 10 years ago, probably not, because you don't have Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback to just go out there and run a bunch of screens. But hey, are you going to do it for strategic purposes? Yeah, because you can bust them for big plays because you've got an offensive line that is athletic and can get downfield and honestly loves that stuff. These guys, you can just tell in their body language when they're running screens. These dudes absolutely love getting downfield and just knocking somebody, and they can't even hit anybody yet. They're excited about it. There is a technical reason, a logical reason why you're probably seeing more of that, and one of them is that the only video that you can get of Kenneth Walker on a play is going to be on 7-on-7.
Yeah.
You don't run the ball every 7-on-7. So
what if they did?
The ball and move bunch.
What a huge hole! Look at all that space for Kenneth Walker in 7-on-7.
And the Chiefs themselves are allowed to shoot, screen plays with 11-on-11. So sometimes you'll see it from the official team account.
True.
But we can't shoot full team. So you'll see it that way. But no, I mean, and if fan videos are out there too, you are seeing a ton of the return of the screen game. Not like. I remember, covering this team 2016 or so. I mean, you would have screen day where they ran nothing but screens.
Yeah.
And, and talking to, because this is the thing. I mean, under Andy Reid, this is a man, it's like, probably having dinner with a food critic or a Michelin star chef. I mean, the screen game is important to Andy Reid. So it's not like Andy Reid doesn't just run screens for the sake of running screens or say, hey, here's how you run it, here's what you do, knock yourselves out, have fun. No. Andy Reid's out there and saying, like, this is the blade of grass that you need to be on as the left guard, and the right guard needs to be here. And if you are 1 centimeter off, he's going to be screaming at you. It is a choreographed dance. I mean, these guys could probably go on Dancing on the Stars and just kick ass because Andy Reid, that's what he demands of them in the screen game. It's just perfection. And that's why when he's got a line that can do it and a running back that can do it, it works like a charm.
Yeah, and it's the timing because Simmons is athletic, Kingsley is athletic, Creed can get out there and do that. He loves to. I mean, how often do we see screens with number 52 leading the way? It's like this is a center, snaps the ball and is way out wide and is that athletic. I mean, it's just they've got the guys up front. And I think at times last year they were going to try to incorporate Brashard Smith into the screen game, and it just never materialized with them last year. So,
well, I think we also saw Josh Simmons get out in space. They tried, but the issue was Pacheco didn't have the vision. I know that was a big circulation.
Kareem Hunt can't burst to catch it and then go. And
I don't know if you guys saw over the weekend, or I guess yesterday or 2 days ago, the weekend. Pacheco, there's a great play. Great drop in space. They do this amazing situation. Simmons is out one-on-one, and all Pacheco has to do is kick outside. Where does he go?
Inside. Yeah.
Gets up excited because he got a 7-yard gain. If he goes outside, it's a touchdown. And so that's why I'm so excited, Kenneth Walker. Because Simmons put him in space, and it is game over.
They've got it's almost like Matt, maybe this goes back to the narrative in the offseason that I didn't get when we heard that Andy Reid, quote, is hell-bent on fixing this offensive line. And Andy Reid has real issues with the offensive line. We even heard it from Connor Orr at Sports Illustrated when he talked about his 14 teams that can win the Super Bowl. But then on his podcast with who's the Monday morning quarterback now? It's Swisher. Is that Andrew Brandt now? I always forget. But he had him on the podcast, and one of the reasons why he had the Chiefs, and he's like, well, look, we've heard Andy Reid's not happy with this offensive line. And I'm like, Andy Reid, 4 of the 5 guys, at least right now, are like built for an offensive line that Andy Reid wants. What are we talking about? Hellbent on fixing the offensive line. He's got athleticism. He's got nastiness. He's got guys that can move and get out in the screen and in the run game and pass protection. Like, I'm not sure that people are watching this offensive line for what Andy Reid would like. Now, are they going to execute to a high level? That's on Andy Heck and those guys playing as one unit. But if we're talking about an offensive line in the screen game or getting out in space that Andy Reid likes, he's got the players to be able to do that.
Yeah, I have to admit, I mean, that's I don't say this often unless it's a guy whose initials are MF or Maybe a couple of others, but that's the big one, that you're well aware of.
Mm-hmm.
But I try not normally to critique other reporters or anything because, hey, we all do our thing, and sometimes we're right, sometimes we get things wrong. I haven't talked to anybody who thinks that piece from Connor made any sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had people from outside Kansas City saying, "What is this team really this messed up? That somebody would think that they're not one of the top 14 teams that could win the Super Bowl?" I'm like, I got no excuse for it, and I have no idea if Andy Reid is that upset with this offensive line, then why is 80% of it back in place?
Exactly.
I mean, I guess if he's upset with one position and he's so mad about it that he's going to start a tryout right tackle from the national championship college team. Okay, well, I guess he was upset with 20% of the offensive line, but it doesn't make any sense to me, especially when you got two Pro Bowlers on that line, and you got one of these guys that you think is going to be your left tackle for the next decade. I don't know where the narrative comes that Andy Reid's upset with his offensive line and mad at it. I mean, unless
he's so mad at all the guys that had to step up in with the injuries.
I almost
backups.
think that maybe there was some sarcasm there that just because Andy Reid's very, very dry. I mean, let's face it,
hell-bent on fixing this offensive line. So.
We've been dealing with Andy Reid's going to retire for 4 years just because Jay Glazer didn't understand his sense of humor.
Oh, that's funny. Or MF, that as you would say, that said people in the building are aware that Andy Reid, there's going to come a time when he retires. Like. That's the report.
Nope.
That's
called
true.
life.
That's absolutely true. Yeah.
There's going to come a time when Darcy retires.
There's going to come a time when we're all dead. Like everybody in this building at Sports Radio 810 acknowledges that there will come a time when all of us have passed away.
Are you pulling a Shanahan right now?
No, we don't need to go that route. But no, which
no,
one?
wait, no. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant when I meant the was it Brock Purdy or who was the quarterback?
Yeah, it was like,
and
well, who knows?
Who knows? Who knows if we're going to be here on Sunday? Let alone the starting quarterback.
Yeah.
You learn how fragile life is when your father and Hulk Hogan pass away.
That's a great point. Thank you, Lane. Thank you, Lane Kiven. Great poll, by the way. You mentioned with us, and I brought up Khalil Benson because I wanted to get into the flip side on the other side of the ball. Last week when we asked you about a UDFA that you like, you brought up Cole Brevard, Brevard. I'll learn how to pronounce it soon. I'll get there. Defensive tackle. What have you seen from him, and is he still a guy that you like that in these first 3 days, and then really, I guess, the 3 days over the weekend, so 6 days, that you've seen from him that you still like his chances of making the team?
I do like his chances. He's definitely on the short list. And right now, interestingly enough, I might throw Marcus McNeil into that conversation too, because he's the guy that, of that younger group at the tackle spot, seems to be getting the most work through the first 3 days. I like Brevard as an option because of his size, and I like him as a backup and potential behind, Tonga and everything, because I think he's more of that kind of player. But McNeil's of interest too. I mean, the Chiefs seem to like him, so I think I'd probably have to throw him into the conversation. Defensive line after today could get potentially interesting because, with Ashton Gelati leaving with a strained hamstring. I know Andy Reid said they don't think it's anything serious, but, and I know they're always going to be cautious with soft tissue injuries during training camp, but the hamstring strain worries me. So, I mean, and you've already lost Ethan Downs for the season. So suddenly that edge position is getting to the point where it's like, man, if you had to start the season with Ashton Gelati, you probably have two undrafted edges making this team, or a guy like a Tyreek Smith or something like this making this team.
Yeah, Ashton Gelati being injured, you're saying, if you have to start the season with him being out. Andy Reid was asked about FAU, and I look, we can sometimes how you say it is just as important as what you're saying. I got a decent idea of what Andy Reid thinks of FAU and how much of an impact he can make. When he was asked about FAU playing when Gelati went down, and he said he's actually doing a nice job so far in camp. And when you have to put the actually, it's a subconscious way of saying, yeah, it's surprising. Like, yeah, he's doing a nice job. I mean, the get off and explosion is better than what it was. So yeah, he's actually doing a nice job. Where that sounded to me like Andy is sort of out of sight, like he's not part of it. And Gelati goes down, somebody's got to play, and oh wait, hey, okay, kind of surprising what we're seeing from him because you haven't seen it in 3 years yet.
I also made it the other day with Ethan Downs going down. What I sussed out was it almost felt like Ethan Downs was ahead of FAU on the depth chart, based on the
Well, I mean,
comments.
he was,
Was it 2-3 days ago?
Yeah, whatever those days were. But Andy using the word "actually," I think stood out from what he may think of FAU, and then not presenting lip service of doing a good job. It just that it was like, no, actually, he's doing a good job.
Yeah, it's right up there with the time when Eric Bieniemy was asked what he thought about Cornell Powell as a player, and he said he has a beautiful soul. There are once in a while some answers that you get from coaches that tell you everything you need to know without actually saying anything. And it may have been a clue, but I mean, FAU. I mean, for 3 days of camp. I mean, to be where he is, it's an upgrade for him. And he's getting an opportunity, so he needs the jump on it. I thought it was interesting, even though, I mean, R. Mason Thomas is working in some specific packages for them with the ones, and there's some looks and some interesting NASCAR type looks and everything like that, where you might have another defensive end kicking inside and passing situations, and R. Mason Thomas comes in as an edge rusher. But it probably also tells you at least where they're kind of at right now. I mean, this could change going forward, and and I've heard a lot of talk about how hey, maybe R. Mason Thomas is going to be a starter in Week 1. I feel like if R. Mason Thomas was going to be a starter potentially in Week 1 and beating out Ashton Gelati, and that was a consideration, I feel like he would be next man up right now.
Interesting.
But the fact that he's not, I think it tells me a little bit still about what they are at least kind of envisioning for R. Mason Thomas, or they just don't want to throw that much on him this early in camp. But the fact that Felix is in there, I think it does at least say something about where Felix is at the depth chart. That he's in a spot now where, hey, he could potentially move up, and this could be a good thing for him. And that, hey, they've got maybe a very specific niche for R. Mason Thomas, and they see Felix as more of a broader, versatile defensive end, which honestly is good for him.
Yeah.
Because
Hopefully.
if you're viewing, which I have kind of a view of Felix, that he's kind of a back up to R. Mason Thomas, that they're both kind of the same player, both similar size, both similar skill sets. But if they're viewing Felix as a better, maybe all-around edge, especially against the run, that's good for Felix.
Last one for you, and we'll get you out of here so you can get out of there. Alohi Gilman, and I've liked the signing since they made it, and maybe under the radar for the national sort of pickups and impacts a guy can make. Over the summer, well, it is a summer. So earlier this month, it's still July, Seren was in Tahoe, and this stood out to me when he asked him at the time, because he brought up with Kyle Hamilton, or he asked him, who's your biggest mentor in football, and Kyle Hamilton's response was Alohi Gilman, and he's like, hey, he's with you guys now. So it wasn't like, hey, you played with Alohi Gilman, what do you think of him? It was unprompted, and he talked about Alohi Gilman being there his freshman year, that Kyle Hamilton thought about quitting football and it was too hard, and the day-to-day grind, and it was Alohi Gilman that took him aside and sort of mentored him and kept him there at Notre Dame. And then, full circle, they got to play together last year, and how big of a fan he is of Alohi Gilman. Stephen asked Alohi about that story, and he said, that it's just being there for that guy and a leader. And he said, if anybody else, I want to do that for anybody else that's on this team. How much of, so if you had to put it into like 100% of the signing of Alohi Gilman, and it has to come to 100%, what's the percentage breakdown of his ability to play, what they like from him there, and what's the percentage breakdown of what we're hearing about Alohi Gilman in the locker room, around the teammates, and as an overall leader?
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, because I think if you ask the Chiefs, hey, why did you sign Alohi Gilman back in March? I think they would probably have said, 90-95% football player on the field, 5-10%, has some qualities that we need. And now I think now that they've gotten to know him and the way that he seems to have stepped into that room and the role that he seems to play, it might be 50-50. I mean, and don't get me wrong, they love him as a player. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, this guy's their starter. There's no argument there. They really love what he does on the football field. But they needed somebody to come in and bring that group together because, again, it is so young, it is so inexperienced. There's not a lot of veterans back there. And here's the guy that's brand new to the room that's like bringing everybody out to dinner and, getting them all together and making them kind of build that camaraderie. I mean, he was doing that before they got to camp. I mean, it's crazy. I did not. My impression from him, and you heard a little bit about this from his time with the Chargers, especially that he was a leader for that team, and they really loved his work ethic and all these things and what he did for his teammates. But you didn't drill down and hear about down to this level. So it's pretty amazing. I mean, and once again, he's also a fairly quiet and unassuming guy. He's not the raw guy that Tyrann Mathieu was. Maybe not even as much as Justin Reed. I mean, Justin was a talker. Wasn't like super loud, but then again, I mean, Justin also didn't mind trash talking a little bit. Alohi, I mean, he seems. I don't know if there's even a cross because I don't know how much of a Venn diagram that he would cross over with Tyrann and Justin. He might be his own little circle out there. But that area of leadership and getting guys to, come together and build around them, I mean, he's off the charts on that. I mean, is chemistry a rating on Madden? If it is, he's a 99 guy.
Yeah, no, that's probably right. When I listen to him, and I know it's sort of different to a degree, but I hear more of Justin Reed with that, the cerebral nature, and you got a guy that went to Stanford in Justin Reed. And you got a guy that went to Notre Dame in Alohi Gilman. And it's one of the things the Chiefs covet are those really smart guys, football IQ, leadership. And Justin Reed definitely brought that. And I just wonder how much they realized as the season went on, they were missing Justin Reed. And they went to get a guy that was closer to a Justin Reed type player, leader, back end sort of quarterback of the secondary, like Alohi Gilman. So
or a Mizzou alum, because that's the Harvard of the Midwest, clearly with Nick Bolton in Mizzou, cerebral, right?
100%. Yep.
Thank you, Matt.
Yeah. But present company, I go mainly Matt. Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest, 41 is the Mike podcast. Matt, you're the man. Appreciate it, brother. Enjoy the practice tomorrow. And then, hey, Monday, the pads come on and we can watch some closer to real football. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys. Take care, my friends.
Absolutely. There's Matt Derrick, Chiefs Digest. 41 is the Mike podcast. We'll take a time out, come back, continue rolling. We got the cuts before the show is over. We continue on a Friday edition more right after this.
Twitter thinks he's funny.
Shame on you nerds.
His wife and kids think he's lame.
No!
We couldn't get Paul, so we're stuck with Mick.
Yep. Okay, still got it going on.
Mick Schaefer on the Zone with Jason Anderson.
Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
Welcome back to the Zone, Sports Radio 810 WHP. Sterling Holmes, Jason Anderson, Michael Darcy, Mick Schaefer.
What's up, bud?
Yeah, I like the swim trunks. They're strong.
Yeah, you always look at me up and down. You check me out. You're looking at my lower half all the
There's
time.
no crime against leering.
There's no crime. You're right.
Yeah.
It's just freaky, you know. Like
We're
when
just hanging out, Jason. We're
just
vibing.
Looking at my looking at my chubbies.
I was leering at his chubby.
Speaking of which, I was putting a clip together for Cuts later on, so didn't know we were back. So I guess I didn't need to do that.
You don't need to be here. We can bring it in. We can bring it out.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Great. See, guys.
We have deep analysis.
Yes, we're going to continue to break down the new assistant coaches for the Chiefs and the rookie
do
tryout guy.
It might be hard.
Let's do
but
it.
someone has to do
Someone
it.
has to.
Well, that's what we're here for.
I know.
We do the things that people aren't willing to do. That's how you become rich in this country, is do a job
100%.
that somebody's not willing to do.
Be the trash guy.
Yeah, right. And here we are. Nobody is willing to do sports radio.
The people that own the trash companies live in mansions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have we thought about starting a trash company?
We have not.
Well,
it's definitely not a saturated market already.
You just said they live in mansions. I would like to live in a mansion.
Mm-hmm. Well, you live in an ivory tower, so.
Well,
Here's the deal.
The ivory trade, though, has gone way down south, and there's some issues.
The patriarch of that family spent the first several years hanging off the side of those trucks, right? He had to
yes,
get his
exactly.
hands dirty,
Get your hands
work
dirty.
his way up, build up some capital,
Yep.
start his own biz.
You don't just.
I don't think you just move right into the mansion.
No, I can't just move into the
No, you're
mansion.
like, hey, I want to tell a lot of people to pick up trash, and I will pay them if I get a lot of money to pay them, and I'll move in their mansion.
Yeah, it seems simple. I would do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. The issue that you have, Sterling, is you don't buy the mansion first and then figure out how to pay for it. You have the money, then you.
So I have a 4-step plan. I know steps 1 and 4. We'll figure out 2 and 3
He's
as
got
we
a
go.
5-step plan. What is it? Don't die? Or a 5-year plan? You got a
Okay,
5-year plan?
hear me out. I have an idea for the new Chiefs stadium. It's called the studio section.
Okay.
And the fans that sit in there are called the stupids.
The stupids, yes.
We're going to have.
Because he's stupid.
We're having old school bleachers, like at college football games, aluminum bleachers.
Okay.
All that's sold in the sections like Busch Light, PBR. You can smoke. You can smoke in the section.
Okay.
There's going to be a hole in the roof, so we get the elements. So we want the sun.
But it will only apparently fall on this
Correct.
section.
On the stupids. And the bathroom situation. You have your own premium bathroom, which are troughs. So it's just troughs.
You're the only ones allowed to go into that bathroom?
Correct. Yeah, because you paid your ticket for this
How much
studio.
are the tickets for
About
the
$20.
stupids? Okay.
They're the cheapest tickets in town.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's troughs. You have the elements on you, and you have aluminum seats. This is going to bring costs down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also revenue.
Well, no.
Oh.
Because it's just aluminum seats, so that's going to be a good deal
But
for
how many
for,
people?
for Clark.
How many seats are there?
Well, there's going to be a lot probably because everyone's going to want to sit in my section.
So,
A lot.
So
Mick.
10,000 seats.
We'll say like 1,000.
Okay,
1,000 seat
so
section.
1,000 seats that they normally sell $200 a piece for
Yeah.
are $20, and you're saying revenue's not going down.
That's going to be the fun part of the stupids. That's
I
part
feel
of
like the Chiefs
glory.
would be stupid if they did that.
But Clark, you want to have the loud, rowdy folk. That's what I'm providing you. I'm providing you with the loud ruckus of old time football.
Well, Sterling's certainly bringing the trash. So that's good that we've figured out
head hurts.
that aspect of it. So
It
there,
would be- you'd sit in the section, though, wouldn't you?
For $20, absolutely.
See, everyone's going to do it.
Yes, it doesn't matter
What
what
about
the
$50?
elements are. Probably, yeah. $50, yeah.
So let's make
200.
aluminum seats.
Aluminum seats.
I want it to be like a college football experience is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's nice. Everything about
I go to a lot of D2 college football games every Saturday. You can go to those.
Yeah, everything
for less than $20.
Everything this summer, Mick, has been about the college football. I want to make the World Cup like the college football experience. Can we make this new dome for the Chiefs that they're building for $3 billion like the college football experience? Like, I want to make. Can we get out to these Royals games and make it like a college football experience?
Have you said that to everything?
Probably. Now that you mention it, it does sound like something I've said about everything.
The Advent Health Championship. Can we make this more like a college football experience?
Shrink the game, not golf.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Can we make this show more like a college football experience?
We got you.
I think you got the amateur part
You're
of it down.
forever a sophomore in high school or college. I don't know. But
They're
it's always
technically not
sophomore.
amateurs anymore.
Well, that's true. That's a good point.
I would argue the Chiefs have always been like a college football experience.
Yes.
They have more so than a lot of other teams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Arizona is doing that, or like the Texans.
No.
Probably not. No.
Indoor stadiums, though, now. Chiefs are now.
New England is kind of like a high school with Gillette.
In what way?
It just looks like a high school stadium a little bit. Like a big high school.
I've never been there, so I don't know.
I haven't been either, but
there.
what
It's
have
not
I
look like a
been
high school
heard?
stadium.
What I've been told?
What I've been heard.
I haven't seen a high school stadium.
What I've been heard.
What I've been 70,000.
Well,
That's
I-
right next to like
I
a giant development of restaurants and bars and shops.
Maybe
and
it's an
stuff.
old Gillette.
I went to school to get learned. It's what I've been heard.
Does not look like a high
I've
school
seen
stadium.
that.
No, I don't. I doubt it.
No, you're right. But what I heard.
So let's go
From
into
the
this
old
segment, and we'll come back. We'll regroup.
My God.
And we'll get back into some sports. Like I said, nobody's willing to do that. What we just did. Not one person.
No,
is-
Gillette looks nice now.
Yeah. Forever.
Yeah. Once
Gillette. It's always been Gillette.
Yeah, it's the best
that
thing I can get.
spot.
That's what they say. Warzone.
because he's already getting there. Mitchell Schwartz to follow all the so-called experts out there that work for all the soap places, right? And he had one yesterday. I don't know who it was, but because oh man, R. Mason cooking. I think it was Benson, and Mitchell puts the whole Tim Robinson. You sure about that? Sure about that meme above it? And thankfully the kid wrote back. It's like, well, whatever time All Pro is doubting me, so no, I'm not sure about that. In fact,
at least he acknowledges it, though,
yes,
right?
Good for him. And so people don't know what they're looking at. So I want people who do know what they're looking at to just throw people who don't know what they're looking at under a bus. And that's what I want. Mitchell, if you're listening out there, that's my plea. Just tear us apart.
Oh, it was Price Carter. It was our guy Price that put that out there, and he goes,
sorry.
"Well, now I'm not that an AP that an All Pro says it's not." Sure about that? No, that's pretty good. As opposed to like good for Price, because that's why we have him on, and he knows what he's doing. And
but here's the
he's
deal.
not an AH.
It's what we're seeing right now. It's all that's going on. We probably should be talking about the Royal. Oh no. We shouldn't.
Yeah.
So, let's keep talking about that. Even if we're wrong, we don't know what we're looking at.
Right, but the flip side of that response by Price to Mitchell Schwartz is this one where Chris McKee, who does sports in Toronto, I guess, who spent last week talking about, because I just looked at his account after this interaction with Mitchell Schwartz, talked about why am I not getting more opportunities in sports, and I've done this and I've done that. It's just so hard.
Who is this guy?
Chris McKee. Yeah, Chris McKee.
He's a player or like a media guy?
Like media guy.
Okay.
He tweets out. I've heard it's Scotty. Scotty Scheffler talking about. Who's the kid? Jackson, Coven, and golf.
Oh, yeah, the new guy.
And so Scotty Scheffler was asked about, have you talked with him, interacted with him?
I saw this. Was that this kid tweeting?
Yeah, and he said, I've heard dozens of stories about Tom Brady walking up to undrafted free agents in the locker room and shaking their hand saying, hi, I'm Tom. It's great to meet you. Apparently, Scotty Scheffler doesn't do the same, admitting he's never met nor spoken to Jackson Coven, even though Scotty Scheffler said, I haven't had the opportunity
Yeah,
yet.
it was like, I haven't seen him yet.
So Mitchell Schwartz.
Let's count the reasons why that's a dumb treat. They're not on the same team, first of all.
Yeah, right. They're not teammates.
Secondly, there's like 160 golfers out there.
Third, when Tom Brady goes up to the guy, they're in the same building, and they're there all day with training camp and stuff. But Mitchell Schwartz quote tweets it and says, this is one of the dumbest parallels I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He replies to Mitchell Schwartz and says, almost as bad as your takes anytime you're on Jim Rome. You're up there with one of the worst NFL analysts I've heard on the show in decades. Completely useless.
Wow.
Rack 'em.
So Price could have, I guess, responded like that to Mitchell Schwartz.
What an idiot.
Well, then
Mitchell's on. Is he on Rome?
I guess he goes on as a
Dear Romy.
As a host.
There's no way that kid knows who Mitch Schwartz is. So.
Yeah,
but he was getting roasted.
I love it. So
did see that
the same day.
So this is that was Mitch that harvested that tweet to me. So I want him to do more.
Yeah.
Of
So,
that.
but that same day, early that day, this Chris McKee guy in Toronto says, "I've been trying to find more opportunities to work in sports, but I'm having zero luck. If only I'd spent the past few years attending major sporting events, interviewing some really important coaches and athletes, I'd be more qualified." And he's got like a 3-minute clip of press conference questions, like we go to the right over there. Yeah, Chris, Tom Izzo, Tom, what did you think of our Bill? And just answers.
This guy needs to get hit by a bus.
Well, I don't know about that, but
maybe not that, but he's a dork for sure.
But it's like early in the day.
I'm with Michael.
He's like, I've had zero luck. Why can't I do this? And then a guy that maybe if he were to connect with, that clearly has some connections. You suck. You're the worst I've ever seen. You're an embarrassment to humanity.
Is the kind of dude that goes to bars and is always like, why doesn't the nice guy ever get the girl? And he's actually a complete bleep. Like it's the absolute worst.
Nice guys finish last. Well, you seem to be finishing first a lot. But
whoa, Jason!
You claim to be finishing last. So you're the guy that was born on third base and thinks you hit a triple. Yep. And you're pissed off that it wasn't a home run. Mad at the world because it wasn't a home run.
What a dork.
This guy was born at home with a home run. I only got a triple? It's ridiculous. I'm going to take it out on the world. Everything I have is because of me. I did it. Nobody else. Like the Hawk.
Also,
I did all on my own.
What's the quote? Golf, you only play against yourself, so you could say I played against the best in the world.
I played against the best in the world.
That's pretty good.
That's right. It was like there was an Arnold Palmer quote that was like, "What a really cool thing to say," followed by the hawk. In golf, you only play against yourself, so you could say I played against the best that ever played.
Shout out Mick for shooting a 37 this morning.
Well, I doubled 9, so
I didn't even want to play the rest of the first 9.
All right, we continue right here on Sports Radio 810 WHB. Jason Anderson with you, Sterling Holmes, Michael Darcy, Mick Schaefer hanging out with us here on Sports Radio 810, heading up until 2 o'clock.
Sterling.
What up?
Man.
What's
Saw
happening?
your eyes. Chubbies are riding up.
Okay, nope, thank you.
I already have it cut.
It's nice.
Program coming up at 2 o'clock, and then a little best of training camp coming up tonight. Royals in action. They're in Colorado, so that'll be good for the pitchers.
Hey,
but
two of the best teams going.
That is true. They are battling to be the best at who's the worst.
Can the Angels just join them there? They do a three-way baseball game.
Yeah, they could do that. Why not?
Why not have
like an
Matt's-
all-star game of non-all-stars?
I want to see Matt Strom pitch a full game and then Tyler Tolbert pitch a full game in Colorado and see who gives up more home runs.
That'd be
That'd be tough.
quite the competition. Yeah. Why didn't Matt Strom throw to Jack Caglione in the home run derby?
Q said no because it was lefty-lefty.
No, that's right.
Well,
Didn't want to bring him in.
didn't work out yesterday.
lefty. Well
The
done.
sweeper didn't sweep.
No, it did not. They got they should have swept. That's the thing. That's what's crazy about that 3-game series.
Should have swept.
They should have swept
a
the
good team.
Twins. The bullpen is just so freaking incredibly brutal.
The offense
this year.
is bad, and the starting pitching is so banged up. Yet the bullpen is miles worse than those two.
It's dumb. They didn't leave.
It's the worst I've ever seen.
They didn't leave Noah Cameron in for the 9th inning. That's dumb. That's dumb.
I mean, he's 97 pitches. I would have done it, but at the same time, I'm not going to put a lot of that on Q. But 2 outs and nobody on. You're 3-0. Tyler Tolbert could have gone in and got that.
Should
into that
have.
game,
But my
right?
point is Noah Cameron has thrown 97 pitches, and the whole thing is, well, he's never pitched the 9th before. And I go, because you never let him. How will he ever do it unless you let him do it?
If it was 4-0, he would have gone out there. They're in love with stats. And
I don't know. I think it might have been. I think it might have been
situation.
Even more. They might have brought somebody else in if it was 4-0. I think they get. I think unless he hadn't given up a hit, and this is where I look at the individual accomplishment over what your, I guess, bigger picture plan is, because not putting him out there for the 9th is, okay, it's the 4th time through the order. He hasn't done it. He's almost at 100. We've had so many injured pitchers. We need somebody to go every 5 days. We're worried about 5 days from now. The next start's for Noah Cameron, and he had 2 awesome starts in a row. Let's get him out of there with confidence. But if he hadn't given up the hit to Ryan Jeffers,
As I say,
he's
I blame
100%
Jeffers.
out there on the
I
9th.
blame Jeffers.
Yeah,
100% he is.
So one less
A
hit,
bloopy little
all of
crappy
that goes
little
out the
BS.
yes, a dying
hit.
quail, a Texas leaguer, ground ball with eyes.
He's never gone 9. Let him do it.
Yeah.
Give him the opportunity.
I'm with you, but I mean, like,
But I had like 13 pitches.
I don't
to
think
somehow
that's.
make or break.
You're a professional baseball team. You should have 8 options at that point to just throw out there and finish the job.
No, I don't
And now
argue.
look, yeah, I mean,
because it would be a side note. Man, it'd be cool if Noah came out there for the 9th. If Irsay gets the 3rd out, he gets 2 outs quickly. 2 outs, nobody on. If he gets the 3rd out, it's like, what a great outing by Noah Cameron. Would it have been nice to see him pitch the 9th? Sure, but next time out, the fact
I mean, look,
he's more
this time
efficient-
last year he wouldn't have seen the 7th with Gautreau. He's got a longer leash for Cameron this year.
Yeah,
so I appreciate it.
and I'm totally fine with that. My biggest issue was Matt Strom. Like when you brought in Irsay and then the bases are loaded, I always love when Seren says, "If not him, then who?" Because I think you do. If you're just going to complain, who would you go with?
Anybody.
It's one of the few times that I would have said, "I don't care."
Tolbert,
that guy over there.
That's
in the
what he
stands,
does. He gives up home runs.
Right, and it's the only thing that's going to beat you with that one batter would be a home run.
I would say,
Grand slam.
the decision to bring in Strom, I blame more than Strom. I mean, but Irsay, I mean.
Yeah, Irsay can get out of it.
Hitting's hard. Throw
Get it.
strikes, man.
Yeah.
You hit a guy, you walk a guy.
They had 3 different batters that were 0-2 with 2 outs that they could have gotten the 3rd out, and all of them reached or hit a home run.
7 pitches, they were down to their last strike.
Who's worse, Brandon Maurer or Matt Strom?
Yeah, second. I don't remember Maurer.
You don't remember Brandon Maurer?
I mean, I don't remember the exact numbers.
Oh,
of what
he
would
was
do.
so bad.
I'm going to say Matt Strom right now.
This run for Strom is just.
No, I agree. I think it's. But the fact I didn't think anyone was ever going to be Brandon Maurer bad, and yet.
You know how crazy this number is, Mick? I brought this up in the first hour.
Brandon Maurer in 63 games for the Royals, 7.89 ERA.
Okay, well, that's what Strom
Strom's
is.
at 7.
How many home
0-1.
runs has he given up?
What
did he give up?
He gave up, shockingly, only 4 home runs.
Strom's given up 11.
Give me Maurer.
Wait,
Strom's
right?
given up
No,
11
he gave
last
up 11 total in those two seasons. 11 total.
In 2 seasons, 11 total. Strom's given up 11 this year.
Sounds like the second best guy in the Royals bullpen.
That's right. So how crazy this is in terms of, when you talk about, man, this guy has been 0 for his last 25. He's due. Like
Cags.
in a good, right? Like in a good way, he's due. Matt Strom, how amazing is this? So he's averaging 3 home runs per 9. So he gives up a home run every 3 innings that he pitches. Coming into the game, his last home run that he gave up, he had recorded 9 outs since. If you go 9 outs, how many innings is that?
That's 3.
Literally right there.
It's
He's
like
due to give up a home run.
programmed.
And he comes in due to give up a home run, and he does it on the 3rd pitch there, gives up the home run. Look, every 3 innings, I'm going to give one up. I've recorded 9 outs. You sure you want to go with me? Okay.
So he should be good for like the next week or so.
Yeah, he's got 9 more outs before he's going to give up another home run.
Runs, but maybe not.
But not
home
home
runs.
run. That's the thing. You could have given up a run there, but just don't hang one on 0-2 that gets smoked into right center.
We ran some sound from Clemens yesterday. We got from a station KSTP in Minnesota. It's second soundbite was like, "Yeah, man, 0-2. I was shocked. It was middle. I was shocked as everybody else.
Couldn't believe it.
So, and it was 83. I mean, this is BP.
Did they ask him what he has against the Royals? Why he hates the Royals? What happened in his life? Did his dad hate the Royals for some reason?
I don't think the Twins media realizes it as much as the Royals media does. He's the new
Ty France,
and it used to be what was the second base from the Rangers? Played at Mizzou.
Ian Kinsler.
Ian Kinsler used to kill him.
Yeah, but Ty France is the one that always seems to stick out. It's like, good God, every time they go up against this guy, he kills them. But yeah, right now it's Clemens that is just.
I loved Ryan's call.
Oh, it's a great call.
Absolutely, and you just see him just taking his headset off. I don't know what it is, but in my mind, he's throwing his pen down, taking his headset off. Unbelievable.
This is what I wanted to hear in the background. Unbelievable. That's what I wanted to hear in the background. That would have been great. Sorry, Drake, for that. Also, it's a TV call, but if you're driving around and you heard that on radio, you would know what happened.
Who's doing it? Do we know? Was it
I don't know.
or Steve?
But I'm just saying, if that exact same call happened on radio, where it's a deep fly ball, unbelievable, you would have known it's gone. He didn't even have to say home. Now, on TV, you see it.
Yeah.
But even if that was radio, you just would have known. Because, one, you would have heard the crack of the bat. And then Ryan, deep fly ball in the right center, unbelievable. You'd be like, oh, that's gone. That's a home run.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
So, the Royals' ERA in the 9th inning?
Isn't it like a
7.5?
7.5
It is.
It was a sideways 8 or something like that, like an infinity.
So, since they started keeping track of ERA in 1913,
I think I threw my pen.
That would be the highest ERA in the 9th inning ever of any team.
Wow. What is it again?
7.5.
I'd write it down, but I threw my pen.
So, I mean, it is almost a run per 9th inning.
I don't know where your pen's at.
Where it's at. Oh, here it is. Found it.
Do you know about the ultimate Grand Slam, that stat?
Oh, is that the one where?
So that was yesterday. That was an ultimate. No, it's an ultimate Grand Slam.
Walk-off Grand Slam?
2 walk-off? No, just down 3 runs.
Okay.
The outs don't matter. So that has now happened. Guess how many times in history an ultimate Grand Slam has happened in Major League Baseball?
7.
No, just in general. Like no out, not in the 9th inning.
No, 9th inning is ultimate Grand Slam. It's a walk-off, down 3 runs. Those are the qualifiers.
Wow.
Walk-off
in history?
7? Yeah, in history.
I'd say that's got to be like 23?
34 now.
Okay.
But guess how many have been done with 2 outs now?
0.
15.
Oh, dang it.
1 has at least.
Yeah.
And
I meant before.
Then somebody, this is MLB guy, then somebody asked him, like, all right, how many have happened with 2 outs? He's like, well, like pre-1980, it gets kind of tough to figure out counts for all of this, but I think he unearthed like
7.
3 times. We're going to get there 3 times since like 1980 had it happened.
Okay.
Like that.
What about 02?
With just,
I think it's the first one. I'm going to look up. I saw something by Randy.
It is the first time teams won on a walk-off Grand Slam after being no hit into the 7th inning. What are we doing?
Oh, here it is. Here's Randy's tweet. The 16th Grand Slam in MLB history with 2 outs and the home team down 3 runs. Of the 8 for which we have pitch data. It's the first one ever on an 0-2 count.
Okay.
So there you go. So it is one for which we have pitch data. It's the first down 3 runs, bases loaded, like 2 outs, home team because of walk-off.
We were in our buddy group chat yesterday. One guy was like, "This is unbelievable." I'm like, "Yeah," I know. And then one guy's like, "Yeah, Royals suck, water's wet." But then we were like, "Listen, you don't realize how bad this is, how rare of a loss this is, how bad it was."
It's getting kind of hard to believe things are going to get better.
I think it's very believable, personally. I've seen this Royals bullpen. I've seen Matt Strom and Luke
I've seen it
Zarsek.
bad.
I've seen.
This is the 10th time this year I've said, "Well, that's the worst loss of the season."
It's one of the worst
Only
losses
10?
like
I've ever seen.
Even as bad as they are this year, it's one of the worst losses I've ever seen in baseball. To have that dominant of a performance, to be up 3-0, to get the first 2 outs as quickly as you did, to have 2 outs, nobody on, and somehow lose on a grand slam.
Detroit almost did, though. They were up 7 with Tariq Skubal.
Yeah, but still, like, it wasn't that quickly.
Yeah, it wasn't 8 innings of.
It wasn't the next 4 batters reaching with the 3 straight and then a grand slam after 2 outs, nobody on.
Fair.
You know?
And then everything that's ramped up to it. They were walked off by the same team 2 nights before that.
They should have
It's
swept.
the 9th time they've been walked off this season.
Could have swept the Twins.
There's that joke that they said they'd blown 108 saves, which was a Major League Baseball record. Obviously, they've not blown 108 saves at 64, but I was like, you know what? Starting to really feel like they have.
You can blow multiple saves in one game, so maybe
Maybe.
they got that.
Yeah.
Blow a
save in
108. So what is it? They have lost 20 games after the 8th inning this year. If they were just 10-10,
20 games after when leading after the 8th.
When leading after the 8th.
That's crazy. Or going into the 8th, something like that.
Yeah, I think they're counting the 8th and 9th, giving up leads. So you go 10-10 in those games, you're above 500.
They're 56 and 54.
Yeah, or
which is tied with Cleveland in the Central, which would be 3 games back.
9 times walked off. If those don't happen, you're at 500.
Good night, man. That's it's that awful. I mean, and injuries.
Who's to blame? Does JJ get the majority of the blame for Pete's in this
season?
Because I find myself, injuries were a part, and some of the moves they made we like, but also this is their job. Like, we like the Matt Strom move. We couldn't expect
I thought it was the best move of the offseason.
I thought it was up there too.
Dumb.
But we can get that wrong. You know why? We're not the ones who are putting this together. He can't get that wrong.
no thinky.
dumb. That's pretty good, man. It's here's what I would say. I don't know that it's as bad as it is just because Estevez got injured, but
he was,
Estevez not starting this year. If your plan was Estevez closing, and then you'd have Urseg/Strom in the 8th, righty lefty. That's why you trade Bolin for Strom, is so you can get a lefty, because you traded your lefty in Zerpa to get your left fielder in Isaac Collins. So then you trade a guy that's got team control for a while, but a right-hander for Strom, who's a rental player, because you feel like you got a chance to make the playoffs again this year. And then Estevez goes down. And could it be that easy?
Those guys fell off a cliff.
Right.
Ursig.
But that's sort of the point, is like
Estevez, and now it's part of the injury, I'm sure, but it had no velocity.
Right.
And then Strom is just throwing BP.
Also no velocity. They should have realized this. His miles per hour have gone down 1 mile per hour the last 3 years. Like one exact.
Didn't it,
so it's at some
drop
point
like 4 this year. I mean,
I think it's only 1 still, but it dropped 1 mile per hour before I had it pulled up. Let me pull it. I don't know why I decided to take off the
I don't know why
screen.
you did either.
This year, Matt Strom's fastball is at 91.3. In 25, it was 92.3. In 24 is 93.4.
Wow.
So I mean, it's so at some point there needed to be some sort of and then in 22 was 94.1. I mean, it just dropped a mile an hour. So at some point, every single year, you got to take a look and be like, hey, we should probably see this coming.
Do they do that? Does JJ and Scott Sharp in a room go, hey?
Not enough, apparently.
According to Sterling.
If you just would say hey more, I think that this team would be better.
Trying to find what that actual, if there is, what the numbers.
I mean, that's math right there.
It's math.
When they're leading. Sometimes they put that in the notes. They don't always have to have positive things in the notes, because they put some rough ones, like the Royals are 13-21 this season in series finales. So other than that, that's pretty good.
They've never been good under Q in the rubber games, and he always plays it off. He always does. He's like, we don't think of it that way. It's just another game. Like maybe you should.
Well, maybe you should think
maybe
of it as
win more of the series.
A more important game, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't talk about winning series and then not care about if you won a series or not in that particular game. But you need to go out and win series. Well, you lost that rubber match game. It's just a game, though.
It's a game. We don't see it as like a.
There's 161
maybe
more.
You should see it as a 3-game package.
Maybe, yes.
Because if you win all of those, you'll be the best team on the planet.
You'll be the best around, and Joe Esposito talks a lot about that. He tells everybody about being the best around. I wanted to play this clip. Let's play this one that I put into the Zone folder. It's literally the only one in there for today. I want to get the right affiliation before we play it. This is with what radio station is this? Sorry, I apologize. I want to give the proper credit to this. Okay, so this is 1045 in Knoxville, and they have a, I believe it's Knoxville. Darn it. My bad.
Just keep pontificating on the credit you're going to give.
Well, I don't want to just play another radio station.
And then afterwards say who it is.
I'm pot committed now. I'm pot committed. This is a problem that I have.
If you're pot committed, does that mean that you're like
means
committed
I got
to
to keep doing
pot,
this.
or
Is Rasheed Rice
You're not going to
pot-committed?
fold. He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he would get to the.
I play poker. I know. Just
He'd get to this much faster than me. All right, 99.1 The Sports Animals, Josh and Swain show. Jason Swain played for Tennessee, and he's part of this. I thought this was really cool. Wanted to play this. I'm not sure the payoff's going to be there with trying to find it, but they are in need of a new color analyst for Tennessee football. I thought this was kind of cool, and Royals suck, and we've talked about that, but. Jason Swain on the air. Mike Keith is the voice of the Volunteers, and this happened in the middle of their show.
Hi, you're Josh Ward.
Uh-oh.
Josh, my name's Mike Keith.
Go ahead, Tom.
You're Jason Swain. I just came by to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh.
A couple of days late.
A
little belated.
Mike Keith is in the studio.
Actually, I came by to do something else. We have a vacancy on the front row of the Vol Network radio booth for somebody to become the color analyst for Tennessee football broadcasts.
Oh my gosh.
At 3:30 on September 5th against Furman at Neyland Stadium, presented by Pilot. Would you be willing to take that chair and be the new color analyst on the Vol Radio Network?
Cameras are rolling, mics are on. This is on the record here.
This is on the record.
Heck yeah, man. Let's do it. Let's rock, man.
You got it.
Thank you so much. What a surprise.
I thought that was
really
like
cool.
in the middle of the
He's
show.
going
he
to
just
need to
walks
be
in.
more animated, though, to be
I
a
hope he's
proper color
pilot.
analyst.
I hope
okay?
he's that low key.
Yeah, that's a good throw.
And the video is great because Mike Keith, the voice, looks over at the camera, goes presented by Pilot, and does like the finger points. He just,
like the
so I'm not, can you play that part again in whatever it is? Presented by, and looks over at the camera, does a double finger point. Presented by Pilot. Look at that part. It's just so good. And it is a little bit of The Office, with the presented by Pilot.
I think he had applied for that job, and it's just not out of nowhere.
In my mind, he didn't even want it.
No. I was like, no. He's roll the dice. We're like, no, man, I like my Saturdays.
Presented by Pilot.
Here, play that
At
one again.
Neyland Stadium, presented by Pilot.
Presented by Pilot.
At
Looks over
Neyland
the-
Stadium, presented by Pilot.
Look over at the
Is that
camera.
the name of the stadium? Is
Neyland Stadium,
presented by
presented by Pilot.
Gas station? Or just like a random pilot?
That's a good question. Yeah, just one dude.
Just one guy.
Just Tim.
What if he just
Been
said
flying
Tim the
commercial
Pilot? He
for
just said
20 years.
Neyland Stadium, presented by something like GH Field.
GH Field.
Glad to be
By
back at
Pilot.
GH Field again at Arrowhead. GEH.
What if Andy did that?
GA Field.
Should I be back here at Arrowhead, presented by GH Field?
Double points of GH.
Gets it wrong.
Look straight at some camera, whoever's camera.
Yeah.
Presented by GH. I got it.
You know, on that podium, right?
Yeehaw.
In huge
Says-
print, it
Jones.
says GEHA Field at Arrowhead Stadium on the podium.
I cannot
For
wait.
everybody.
He's
For
not-
everybody.
he's-
They
That's
never-
in front of Andy Reid.
It's in front of him.
Has he said it yet this year? I don't think I've heard him say.
Well, not yet.
Wow.
They're at St. Joe.
He doesn't have. I don't know if he has it on that podium.
Yeah, they're
St.
at St. Joe right now, so he hadn't had a chance to say it. But Chris Jones with Jiha. Giha, that's right. It's Giha, right? No, it's G-H-A. Is it? I've always said it was Giha. Jiha. I've always said it's Palat. There you go.
Well,
so
good
there
for
you go.
him.
Oh, Todd Lebo says Jimmy Haslam, big Vol alumni, made his money as the pilot truck stop owner. So there you go. So Brown's owner, big volunteer.
So I've learned we need to start a trash company and a gas station corporation. Are we in? We can do this. We have the technology.
I'm going to franchise Selena 52 truck stop.
I'll join you. Okay.
We travel a lot, and we have yet to stop at Selena 52. We stop at pilots.
I look for them all the time.
We stop at pilots.
I look for them all the time. I can't find them.
Good amount of pilots. Once we're out of QTs, we stop
They
at the
seem fun,
pilots.
and their prizes are amazing.
That and 20-year-old sports are my two current favorite.
Those
Twitter
are great.
accounts.
And sometimes 3-year Letterman's pretty solid too.
Yeah,
every
good.
once in a while that gets me going when he really gets someone.
Oh yeah.
Let's take a time out. We'll come back. We'll continue rolling. We'll talk a little Chiefs. We talked Royals there, obviously. We'll talk some Chiefs. They are done with this week's worth of practices, even though they've got one tomorrow. So this week's worth on a Monday through Friday. They've got one more non-padded practice left. Sunday, they are off. And then on Monday, they are into the pads. So we'll talk a little bit about what we've seen at camp so far and some of the takeaways. And we heard from Andy Reid, and we heard from Drew Tranquil, and a very odd ranking, really odd ranking for Drew Tranquil, and we'll talk about how in the heck this ended up happening and maybe the disconnect between what we're watching and others are playing with. More Zone next. copy, we could watch
I just
the
got
main
pilled.
copy.
You
But
need those blue pills, buddy.
he mentioned two things that he went into the design with whoever won it, whether it was Populous or who ended up winning at Manica, that number one, it had to be as loud or louder than Arrowhead. And I assumed they would do this, Mick, because Seattle did this in an open stadium, figuring out how to maximize the sound. But they hired acoustic engineers to figure out how to, and maybe that's what part of that roof being lower is to keep the sound on top of everybody. And
a roof, that's gotta keep it in, right?
Yeah, I would guess. But I like that was the number one important thing for Clark Hunt, and part of having 70,000 fans, not Stupid's 100,000 fan idea.
Okay.
Oh, is that a play on your name, Stu?
Stupids. Yeah,
That's
the Stupids.
In the studio, the section's called the Studios, and the fans are called the Stupids.
The Stupids.
Even better now, isn't it?
It's starting to come around to this.
Yes. What do you make that for Clark Hunt, when they went into the main two things he said about a new stadium, it has to be as loud or louder, and the tailgating has to be as good or better. After that, we'll figure it out. Yeah. But I'm glad that they spent the time worrying about the sound. So
yeah, sure. Or just you pay Guinness to come and say, make us louder. How much does that cost? Okay,
well, this is an indoor stadium now. It's got to be different.
I heard they're going to hire Darcy to go and staple up some padding like he did in his podcast studio on the ceiling. Keep that sound in. Yes.
Yes. But you want the exact opposite, though. You want that
you want
sound
the glue,
to bounce
right?
around.
You don't want to like. You
want the sound to bounce off
We're gonna use giant
not
magnets and adhesive.
Yeah, don't
to
do
put
the magnets.
Retractable roof on the
Get a
stage.
couple nails. Get that glue.
Yeah. So you want it to be that loud, and then I like how Clark Hunt sort of slow played the PSLs. That well, there's no decision on that. We're still studying it, but we'll get around to it next year. Like we're presenting the renderings and we're talking about this. We're not going to throw the PSLs on you out of the with everything else.
Yes, I would say. I mean, when was the last new stadium built in the NFL that didn't have PSLs?
I have no
I'm
idea.
guessing
Yeah, that's a better way to view it rather than
30 years ago, 20 years ago. Maybe
which ones have PSLs? Like yes,
every new one, right?
Right. It's going to have that. I just like that he slow played that, Mick. Like we're not going to present the renderings and all of these things, and then also the PSLs. We're gonna announce that next year. We're gonna get to that next year once you guys are really excited about this.
About 10 to 11 teams don't have PSLs. Chiefs, Broncos, Saints, Dolphins, Packers. Packers use something different. Jaguars.
Dolphins is a newer stadium, I guess.
Bengals, who use charter ownership agreements.
Okay. So yeah.
So pretty much a lot of the old, all the new stadiums have the PSLs.
And then it looks like Colts, Patriots, and Lions.
So I'll be honest with you, I'm not familiar with the like I know PSLs when it comes to the football, but if there's a concert, do I own that seat and I get right of first refusal to buy that concert ticket for that specific seat?
I think that's how some work, yeah.
So it should work, by the way, because if you own the seat,
it's a personal seat license. Yes. I should get, like, I understand it, like when it's like, oh, playoff time, the season ticket holders get their first pick if they want their seat in the playoffs. Right, but
so two-thirds.
But if Taylor Swift is coming to town, I've got to go and click and do all those same things. But
it's
if
like
the college football national championship is in town, I own that seat. So do I get a chance to buy that? No, we're going to give that to a corporate person in
it's basically it's like country club, right? You pay an upfront big old fee to belong there, and then every month
the monthly fee.
You're paying a monthly fee too.
You pay the right to pay the.
There's some food and drink options there. You need to.
You got to pay for the right to pay for the ticket.
Yes.
But if that's the case, like again, I don't know if it then means any other event in that stadium, you
monster truck
get the first.
I don't know.
Opportunity to buy it.
I know
that seat.
Some do it that way, but I kind of wouldn't be surprised if it's only just for Chiefs.
Yes. Like, well, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Well, because if you want to buy the season ticket for that seat, you got to own that seat first. Okay, this is, boy. I mean, we have done in this country. We have found ways to make tickets so expensive. And still found ways to add on things to how expensive those tickets are.
There's 350 million people here in that, like, there's always going to be enough rich people to buy up 80,000 seats
in theory
in your area because there's so many people here. So you can keep jacking up the prices. Butts and seats are going to get there, but just they're their yearly salary average is going to be higher and higher.
Well, and then I found out where the origin of PSLs come from. According to one source,
Pumpkin spice latte?
the first personal seat license plan was developed in 1986 at Stanford by legendary tennis coach Dick Gold.
There it is. I mean, when you got the guy that's digging for gold.
Richard H2O.
Right.
So Dick Gold was looking for financing for a new tennis stadium, and Dick Gold came up with the idea of selling the rights to seats.
For a tennis stadium?
So,
Who's
yeah.
buying the seats for tennis?
Well, Dick Gold thought so, and he said the purchaser's names would be engraved in the seat.
Ooh, do I get that on my seat?
So, like, imagine if your seat was
Yeah.
was actually Dick Gold's seat.
That was my nickname in high school.
I don't think so. Would
Dick
it
Gold seat.
Mine was silver.
His nickname was Dick Gold Seat. It's actually spelled Goldseat. Dick Gold Seat.
It's Scotch Romanian.
Yes, it's a Dick Old Seat. This is an old seat here. It's a Dick Old Seat. Over
That's
there.
incredible, by the way, that his name is literally.
Also
that.
incredible that they did it for
He's
a
still
tennis,
alive.
They did it for a tennis
He's 88.
stadium in 1986. Like, there's the idea, but did it work?
I don't know if it worked.
Was there proof of concept with that, or somebody saw, well, that's dumb for tennis, but let's try this for football?
I don't know.
Basketball.
It seemed like a gold idea.
Oh, Jesus.
How old is he?
He's 88. He was born in 1937.
Oh, he's like Dick Gray now.
Dick don't age?
No, you guys are missing it. It's not Dick Gold, it's Dick Gold.
What'd you say?
Just drop the G.
That's what I did. I dropped the G.
Dick Old.
I run in, the G's run in silence like
Old comma
lasagna.
Dick.
You guys are immature. I was just trying to read about how
Dude,
PSLs came around.
If you don't realize by now that it's a Friday and the second to last segment, I'm not sure what else I can.
No, I was trying to be
I'm not
serious,
sure what else.
and
you have not tried to be serious one time today.
break.
We've actually tried to be serious on some things, and you've derailed it with your stupids and the studio.
Oh,
and your
I get
100,000
it.
fans.
Dick Gold because okay, I get it now.
Because he likes gold.
Yeah.
That's the point. That's why he
Austin
was
Powers,
looking for
now.
more money. That's the point, dude. So there you go. I mean, I really wanted to actually get into a conversation around that, but I'm not sure where to go from here.
I just giving you the background of PSLs with Dick Gold. There's nothing wrong.
Honestly, one of my biggest surprises there, Mick, was I thought he was going to say the origin of PSLs is in 2002, Starbucks decided that in October they wanted to have a pumpkin spice latte, and that's the PSL.
That doesn't seem
I
like
really
me.
thought you would go that route.
I went with a
which would have
legit
been
story.
better, which would have been better if that was the case. But the one thing that I did, having it to bring it back around to actually a serious conversation before we get unserious with the cuts, Clark was putting a lot of emphasis on being able to see flyovers before a game. And I'm not sure I would spend a whole lot of time with the ability to let's move this around and that around so that you can see before the game the planes fly over
Well, it's a
the
translucent
stadium.
roof, right? Is that what he's
Right,
talking about?
but he's like, well, we included this, we included it because it was important that we could see the flyovers. It's such a big part of it. Is seeing the flyover as big as seeing it, and then also hearing and feeling the when it goes by? Like, it's
Still
like
hear it probably through that roof, right?
Can you though? Isn't it supposed to keep sound in?
Well, yeah,
You
but
know,
I mean,
if it
it's
keeps
not
sound
like,
in,
you'll
can
be
you?
able to hear
I don't know that
outside
you
of it.
will. I
That's
think
a
it'll be
loud sound. Those bombers
I think
make
it'll
a lot
be
of noise.
I think it'll be like a soundproof room. I think that's what it'll be, soundproof. You can't hear anything outside. Somebody's going to be on the roof there with the glass going, just yelling, and nobody can hear them
Did
because
they
it's the
do-
outside.
Dumb question, maybe. Do they do flyovers like at dome stadiums?
I don't think they do. They just do the blimp up there.
Maybe
Here's
they
a
do
shot
for
from the
like
blimp
big
with the-
games. Like they'll do it and they'll take a shot outside of it and they'll put it inside.
I don't think there's any reason to have a
There's
flyover there. With
a
the-
lot less of a reason you would think when you have a roof. Yes.
Yeah,
You
would
can't do
think,
fireworks either, can you?
but- Oh, Michael, you can do some pyro there indoors.
Kinda. I mean, the Titans burned their field in like 2019, which kind of stopped the fire stuff on the field. But
Did you guys have a class? He's on the pyro. He's on the Chiefs pyro team.
Oh, that's
was
awesome,
no
dude.
longer.
What?
Oh well.
You got kicked off?
Did you get
No,
fired?
actually, they almost killed me on the final week of the season.
That's how they. That's how they fire you. Is they kill you?
Well, they tried.
Fire.
Ah, good call, Sterling. That's the
Fire
first.
you from work?
Finally, Sterling, you participated in the show. So what happened, Michael? I want to know.
So
I've told everybody that you're one of the best pyrotechnic with the Chiefs
I've
ever
told
lived.
you're you're lit.
You're actually the leader of it.
Light
You
stuff.
run the whole thing.
Especially, they just put out the 3 giant arrowheads on the field. Do you know what I'm talking about? When they run out between the tunnel, and then there's 3 separate arrowheads that light up and they're giant.
Are they also presented
on
by
the
Jihan?
field?
On the field.
Okay.
This is like a new thing. The Chiefs
Okay.
made a giant deal out of it.
Okay.
It's the game that Patrick Mahomes tears his ACL pregame. We're pushing stuff onto the field, and I'm on the biggest arrowhead.
Yeah.
And I push it down, roll it into place, and it is on a suspension. Like, we had to raise the other end of the arrowhead to connect like a puzzle piece.
Okay.
The thing ends up snapping, and I didn't know what was happening, but I heard something snap, hits me in the stomach, lifts me in the air, throws me on the field. I had to go to the ER. I had to get checked out.
I never knew this, dude.
You on the show?
What?
Did
Were
you
you on the show then?
Showed up on Monday.
Yeah, I showed up on Monday. I told Stu about it.
Yeah, I knew all
It
about it.
wasn't your learn funniest or your best that Monday. I'm going to go back and look. Now, we did talk a lot about the fact that Mahomes had,
Well, and I saw
messed up
Mahomes
some-
tear his ACL in the hospital at KU Med. I go, oh, great.
I thought you were saying, I saw Mahomes tear his
We were in the
ACL
same room.
on that spot where I had messed up the field and where he had planted. I
Because
saw that was the exact same place.
I always point and I laugh. There's a video, like an aerial shot of Travis Kelce walking out on the field at Arrowhead on Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 2 arrowheads. And the reason there's not a third is because it broke and hit me. That is
You're the
why
reason.
there's 2
And so they
not
fired
3.
you for that.
I almost just cursed on
So
him.
Why
they-
didn't you tell us about? Oh, you probably told Sterling, and he'd shot like an 85 that weekend.
That was his funniest, his
and, like,
best.
he just put
He
that
learned.
behind it in the back of his
Oh
head.
my God, you were in the ER.
So,
you know,
he
I
got injured ER.
in December.
No, Mick Sterling's response was Michael. Oh, you were in the ER. I was in the fairway all
day,
baby.
Cartgirl saw me take one of the 10 feet on 18. Tight.
So I will not be returning.
Okay, very good. We'll take a timeout. We'll return and play the cuts. All right, let's get it rolling. Cuts on a Friday. Michael, go right ahead, sir.
Oh man, I was leering at his chubby.
Oh, that was today.
Quick turnaround there, Mike. Nice job.
I mean, it's literally right on campus. So the tailgating, it's like you go to a bar beforehand. There wasn't like the SEC tailgates and everybody with tents. There are a couple of people here and there, but for the most part, the Dome is surrounded by Archibald Gymnasium, 2 academic buildings, street, and a 2 dormitories.
Is that as crappy as a Dome as it looks on TV?
Inside or out?
Inside.
Yeah.
Are you going to give a different answer for outside?
They've done a lot to it on the outside. It looks a lot better. They've got colors. They put a different support on because they've had to lower the Teflon dome a couple of times.
I think you really age yourself when one of the attractions is they added color.
Added colors.
What was this? Wizard of
I was
Oz?
actually talking to Ross Dellinger, and I kind of said something that might sound kind of funny to you, but I watched the Hulk Hogan special.
Go on.
And I realized, and I was like,
I'm listening.
We're all gonna die. And so some of the things that we put importance on, we worry about, and what this person says and that, like, really aren't gonna matter. And when I lost my dad, I started thinking that, and I really started thinking, when I grew up, there were 2 people that I thought just wouldn't die. My dad and Hulk Hogan. And then I watched that special and realized, like, Hulk Hogan died too. Like, there's no way Hulk Hogan was ever gonna not wrestle and die. And he did. And so it just made me reflect really on, like, I can't be so concerned about little things and what people say and this, and you got to make decisions, you got to go with them. And you do things and you make really good decisions and you make poor decisions.
By the way, quickly here, I don't think he died in the special. I think they did it before, and then you're able to find out if people die or not outside of a documentary.
Yeah, that is true. Yep.
You stroke off the low guy.
Oh my God.
Whoa! We're just gonna keep beating it.
Okay. All right.
You always covet what you don't have.
Which is why I covet everything.
Good dog.
Like, I'm going to turn it up really high, and if I can withstand that and it doesn't hurt, then I'm good.
Right.
The first time I ever did that E-stem stuff, it feels weird as hell. You know? It's like you're getting...
I enjoyed it a little bit.
You liked it. Yeah. Did you do that stuff, Jake?
I did when I was rehabbing my knees for my quads.
Then it became a game to see how high you could actually go with it.
There was a time at a tailgate we had the stem machine. Somebody brought one, and you put it on your bicep and your forearm, and you see how long you could chug a beer and turn the stem machine up and up and up and up and up.
That sounds fun.
It was pretty fun, yeah.
That's electric.
Deeps.
Good game.
Yes, go do it, Sterling.
Jeff Passett, he talked about the Cubs. He goes, come on, you're the freaking Cubs.
I know.
Like, you're swimming in money and you're farting around with...
I texted him today. It's like, hey, let me know what's going on. He goes, yeah, you're probably not going to like it. He said, new phone, who dis?
Yeah. Come on, Grunny. Hey, I know you're busy, but what's going on with the Cubs? Texting, passing randomly.
I couldn't get it up quick enough. Whoa! Who said that?
You.
I had a buddy who would always, he's follically challenged.
Sure.
And he would complain about it. I'm like, dude, it's like, what's the big deal? He goes, yeah, that's what you think because you got here. I said, listen, I'd be happy to be bald if I didn't battle my weight. He goes, I'd be the fattest fat ass if I could have hair. I was like, what? I go, you're kidding me. I go, I'm dying of a heart attack little by little every day.
Yeah.
You just don't get to run your fingers through your hair. You're not paying for haircuts. There are positives to what you do. My shorts cost more. Okay?
If one of us is going to be at the other person's funeral, who do you think is going to be in the
box? Not the guy with hair. Well, you seem to be finishing first a lot.
Wow, Jason.
I don't know what that was.
Going to see Guns N' Roses like fairly recently, and he goes, what's the Axl Rose comes flying out from the wings, looking not as much like a serpentine as he used to.
Yeah.
He runs across the thing and he grabs the mic. Welcome to the jungle.
Take it.
He's over there holding the wall.
He's so good.
That's just Vince Neil Motley Crue right now.
It's so good.
Hey, Adam, I'm coming to Philly tonight, and I'm bringing my son with me. Where,
Are you really?
Yeah. I got some things planned out, but which place should I take him to get a cheesesteak?
Jim Steaks on South Street. You could smell the onions around the corner. It's unbelievable.
I'm a big Tony Luke's guy. What do you think about Tony?
Yeah, Tony. Okay, so I'm a vegetarian. So I get at Tony Luke's, Jake. I get what's called the green sandwich. It's spinach and broccoli rabe.
Yeah, I've tried almost all of them. I mean, the big names, and I think Tony Luke's is my go-to when I'm up there.
I have a question for you. Are you a vegetarian?
No.
Okay. Probably don't get advice to go to a steakhouse place or wherever he said.
why I jumped
being
in.
a
That's why I-
vegetarian.
Sherman came on in the next
was
segment
mad.
after I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a vegetarian, so here's what I would get.
Well,
Okay,
stop giving me your opinion.
Jim's does slap.
Try
Jim's is
a-
probably my go-to.
What are
Jim's
the
or
two right
Joe's.
next to each other?
Oh, you're
Jim's
ta-
and Jake's?
No, you're talking
No.
about Pat's and
Yeah,
Gino's.
Pat's and
Those are
Gino's.
the tourist traps. Don't go there.
Gotcha.
Tourist traps.
Too
Tourist
late.
traps.
I've already been there.
There you go.
They're not very good. It's very average.
Went to both of them.
Kansas City Star shirt.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's cool.
Well, that is cool.
The
You guys
Star.
sell them?
I'll sell. You think this one will fit you?
Go back to when I was 5.
Okay.
What did it fit him when he was 5? A same exact.
Yeah, we didn't know till after but he told us we were on the quarterback room, and he told us, and he kind of said that it was going to happen this summer. And everything, but yeah, just awesome. Feel great for him, and it's awesome. Yeah, Valentine's Day, SoFi. Ooh, yeah, stuff. You just little hairs on your arm start standing up. It's like.
No, I don't think so.
Was that Harbaugh?
That was Harbaugh talking about Herbert getting engaged.
Oh.
Valentine's Day, SoFi. That's when the Super Bowl is.
You stroke off the low guy.
Okay.
I have a lot of one-liners, it feels like.
About wieners.
Yeah.
I was leering at his chubby.
Oh, my God. See, and that's when I was. This is what happens when you seem to be finishing first a lot. Okay.
Wow. See,
You
Jason?
too.
It's you. Mick,
Well,
you did a good
sorry,
job.
I'm better.
I
You're
was a Boy Scout this week, boys.
proud of you.
Nice job, Mick. I was just saving them all for next week. Just going to
I
take
couldn't
them
get it up quick enough.
It's like an all-star mashup for next week for Mick. Just like 3 weeks worth. Going to use that one. I forgot to include Mark Donovan saying they're trying to figure out how to grow grass indoors. I got a buddy in the 90s that can tell you how to do that,
Yeah,
man.
Mick, you grow grass indoors? I feel like you.
I don't think growing. Well, I guess they can grow it indoors. Usually it's on a
Hydroponics.
tray.